up with our trends and what we want to have in retirement. If you want to retire, let's put together a retirement plan. And let me give you my book, The Big Book on Retirement. So if you call now, I'll give you a no cost or no obligation total retirement plan and my book, The Big Book on Retirement.
919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Your dream home awaits with Baker Home Exteriors. We're proud to continue Baker Roofing's century-long legacy of excellence, bringing that same dedication to your home with roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Transform your home at bakerhomeexteriors.com.
Jobs for someone with autism. Programmer. Teacher.
WIN by Autism Speaks helps businesses lead the way in inclusive hiring.
How about a healthcare worker?
To learn more, go to autismspeaks.org/win.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Skies becoming partly cloudy finally. Whew, nice to see some sunshine after a long streak of some wet weather. Highs this afternoon in the mid-60s and a little breezy. It's colder tonight. Clear skies down to 43, and then perfect for Halloween. Sunshine, temperatures in the mid-60s for highs, and at trick-or-treat time, temperatures will be in the mid-50s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 15 points to 47,647.
Here's a turnover. Blake with it. He scores! Oh, what hands Jackson Blake off the faceoff. The Canes bank this one out. Can they get numbers? Aho and Jarvis again. Late in the period. Aho snaps the shot. He scores! Sebastian Aho! Ottinger dove across the crease, and now the Stars can get a break coming the other way. It's Sagan in on Bussey. Bussey denies him with a low pad save. Heiskanen with a shot. Bussey with another save.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Happy Thursday to you all. Happy Hockey Night in Carolina to you all. Carolina Hurricanes tonight against the Islanders at home. Another slightly unusual puck drop time. 7:30 tonight, which means 7 o'clock for the pregame show with Adam Gold Stormwatch. And you can hear all of it right here on 99.9 The Fan. That's the housekeeping that we need to get out of the way. Let's get into the real stuff. Big 3 at 3. Number 1. Canes Islanders tonight. I've had a groundswell. It started with a single drip, and now the dam is broken. Tonight's an opportunity for Alexander Nikishin to really break out. We're looking for all of the positive, or at least I'm looking for all the positive, all the flashes, all of the good. Today, it feels like everything is building towards Alexander Nikishin's game. On the power play, second unit, but on the power play. Skating top pair defensive minutes with Sean Walker. This feels like where Rod Brindamore wanted to be, maybe 2.5 months from now. Give Alexander Nikishin, and I know the Canes are traditionally, they bring guys along a little slow. Give him a bunch of weeks, maybe a couple months as a third pair, non-special teams defenseman to just get his feet wet and figure it out. Injury. All right, you're skating on the power play and you're skating on the top line. And I think it's earned. It's as earned as it can be this quickly, right? Last game, in a true backs against the wall, we have no choice, we got to play you a ton situation, he did well. And the part that I liked most about Alexander Nikishin's game last game, and I was literally just talking about it with Adam Gold, came up naturally, and then I look at my notes, I'm like, oh, we're leading the show talking about it. End of the game, okay? The Canes they've pretty much, Any ammunition they've had, they used, right? They were spent. Pulled the goalie, right, just trying to make something magical happen. And Nikishin lost his stick, right, on a shot, broke his stick. And had the wherewithal. I'm not acting like this is rocket science or the most impressive thing in the world, but had the wherewithal to take a detour from running to the bench, skating to the bench to get a new stick, to go back and stop the puck knowing there's no goalie in net. And it was one of those things where I was like, oh my goodness, Alexander Nikishin. It's not new. He's calm in a chaotic situation. He might be ready for more. And then we learn in the 48 hours from that game to the one tonight that these maybe added opportunities are going to be on his plate for tonight against the Islanders. You get a sense when somebody's like getting a shot, right? You get a sense. I'm a big stand-up comedy fan, and also the science behind it. I don't know what it is now, but every comedian from like the previous generation will tell you it was the opportunity on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, right? You got your 5 minutes, and he literally would give you like a thumbs up, and you'd come over and sit on the couch and talk with him for a few more minutes, or he wouldn't give you the thumbs up, and that meant like, thank you, you can go backstage now. And that could make or break your career, right? So it was very obvious when a Seinfeld or whoever, right, got that opportunity what they were going for. It's not always as obvious in sports. Sometimes you don't even notice until it's past. Was that my big break? Was that the one? I'm not saying if he doesn't get it, his career will be altered, but it does feel like Alexander Nikishin today, they're like, hey, no, let's put him on the big show. Let's give him 5 minutes on the Tonight Show. Let's see how he does. If it doesn't work, we'll bring him back in a couple months, but let's go. Let's give him a shot. I think that's pretty cool to watch in real time. It's one of the storylines I'll be tracking throughout the game tonight, which you can hear right here on 99.9 The Fan. That's number one. Next up on the Big 3 at 3, number 2.
Number 2.
Trey Yesavage. Speaking of that Tonight Show moment, it wasn't even intentional. He had his Tonight Show moment, and he had Johnny Carson doubled over in laughter with a side pain. He was laughing so hard. I can't even say laughing.
I think he told Johnny Carson, you can sit on the couch. I'm going to sit here behind the desk.
Trey Yesavage, ECU pitcher, 18 months ago. I keep saying that because it's just mind-blowing. 18 months ago, he was pitching for ECU in Greenville, like that real. He runs through the entirety of the Blue Jays farm system, right? We're talking like rookie ball, high A, double A, triple A. And just a couple of months ago, he gets called up to the big league club, strikes out 9 in his debut, breaks the Blue Jays record for strikeouts in a debut for a starting pitcher. And if that's where this season ended for him, if they were like, great, you gave us a spot start, we'll send you back to AAA, but, we know you can do it. That's a wildly successful first 18 months in his professional baseball career. But instead, what he's done since then is be wildly consistent, pitch extremely well, make his first appearance in every round of the postseason. He had the ball for the opener of the World Series, the Game 1, and they gave it to him again last night in Game 5 with the series tied 2-2, and the game taking place in L.A., so the Dodgers are really on some we need to win this game, and they threw it to Yesavage for the Blue Jays and said, take us home, youngster. 7 innings, just 3 hits allowed, just 1 earned run allowed, 12 strikeouts, and most importantly, the dub. He gets the win. The Blue Jays are now 1 game away from winning the World Series, and you could argue it's because they had the confidence in the youngster from ECU. I went through, he pitched 7 innings. I went through, each inning has like something baller about it. Each inning has something where it's like, that's absolutely cool. Well, first inning, he went 1-2-3 with Shohei Ohtani grounding out to Yesavage, so he fielded his position against the greatest thing going. Then Will Smith got a fly out, and then he struck out Mookie Betts to end the inning. Heck of a start. Second inning, 3 up, 3 down, struck out the side. I mean, that's as baller as it gets for a pitcher. All 3 swinging, including Freddie Freeman. Third inning, gives up the homer to Teoscar Hernandez. Not great. But he does the pitcher thing, right? He does the cornerback thing. He does the goalie thing where you have to have amnesia, settles down, gets out of the inning with only the 1 run allowed. And what does he do to end the inning? Strikes out Shohei Ohtani. That's as baller of a mental jump as you can make. 4th inning, hits Freddie Freeman, which is kind of baller. Gets out with no harm. 5th inning, 3 up, 3 down, 2 more strikeouts. 6th inning, gets Ohtani to Betts in order again, which tells me the Blue Jays let him face the starters, the full lineup 3 times, which is what the analytics say. Only do this if you got a true gangster on the mound. Or you got a young guy, he goes through the lineup twice, you go, thank you very much for the service, the bullpen will have it from here. Unless you got Yesavage, you say, yeah, you know what, face Ohtani again. Let's see if he's got you timed up. 3 up, 3 down. 7th inning, by this point he has a 5-1 lead, by the way. Doesn't take his foot off the gas. Strikes out Freddie Freeman again. Puts Hernandez on base. Hernandez was really the only guy that was getting to him. Inning-ending double play. That's as gangster as it gets.
I can only imagine how much it helped the fact that when he actually took the mound to the bottom of the first, he had a 2-0 lead, and oh, okay. It's like a quarterback going out there like, oh, we got a special team score, and her defense got to stop. We're up 10-0. I haven't even got on field yet. All right, this is nice. But I'm sure it definitely helped.
I'm sure. Absolutely. Whatever happened last night happened pretty darn perfectly for Trey Yesavage. If I'm him, and I know baseball players are that way, I'm not washing clothes. I'm eating the same breakfast. I'm doing a lot of I'm remembering everything I did that day. Because here's the crazy thing. Yesavage might go on to be a Hall of Famer, okay? I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying he won't. He's been in the big leagues for a few months. He might go on to be a Hall of Famer, and last night might be the best game he ever pitches. Like, it's that kind of deal where, not many guys get a ton of opportunities in the World Series. And to shut down that lineup in that way, he could go on to be a Hall of Famer. He could go on to, be a billion-time All-Star, and that might be the highlight of his career.
Yeah, 12 strikeouts against the Dodgers again last night. World Series rookie record for strikeouts in a game, passing Don Newcomb's 11 back in 1949. Also became the first pitcher in World Series history to achieve 12 or more strikeouts without issuing a walk, a feat that also set a record for pitchers aged 22 and younger. I mean, we're literally talking about baseball history here.
Oh, yeah. It's looking at Ohtani and going, you're not the only one that can do something for the first time in 70 years. Me too, pal. Yeah. Trey Yesavage palled Shohei Ohtani. He didn't actually, but non-verbally. All right, pal. Go back to the dugout.
Impressive.
That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
UNC basketball, Winston-Salem State, the final tune-up, the final exhibition game for UNC last night. The story being, Caleb Wilson is awesome. We talked about it yesterday. I continue to be flabbergasted that he's not mentioned in more hype leading up to the season. But really the story, Luka Bogovac still not playing for UNC in exhibitions, still not cleared by the school to play basketball. I don't understand it fully. I asked yesterday if anyone could explain it to me, why the NCAA would deem a player eligible and clear them, and the clearinghouse and everything would say he's good, and then the school would say he's not. I've never heard that before. One person reached out in my DMs, Kyle on Twitter, and tried to say they need to figure out what class he is because they don't know how many or what of his international credits are going to transfer or not. I mean, as long as you know he's somewhere between a freshman and a redshirt senior, isn't it like we can play him and figure that out in the classroom later as we go along? I don't understand it. It seems crazy to me. There might be a logical explanation, but the reporting says UNC is holding potentially one of their best basketball players from playing basketball with the season on the doorstep, right? It starts on Monday, the real season, not exhibition season. And I can't exactly figure out why. Other than the NCAA has cleared him and the school has not. Strange situation. It won't matter. I mean, they're not playing like a murderer's row in their first game, but it'll matter at some point. And you want to use those first games to get everybody on the same page. You don't want to, all right, we got a big game. We finally got Luka cleared, so let's go ahead and throw him in there. Let's work out these kinks. And you're like, in the middle of the ACC schedule or playing Kansas or something. You don't want that to happen. So we'll continue to track it, and I'll issue the same request I did yesterday. If anybody can explain it to me, at Donnelly Sports on Twitter, DONNELLYSPORTS. I'd love to know what's going on. That is number 3, and the final one of the big 3 at 3. When we return, Canes, Islanders tonight. What are the stories of this one? Alexander Nikishin, one of them, but many, many others. Stick around.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire's Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Trick or treat, Halloween is around the corner. Let's not use wishful thinking when it comes to safety. Beware and take care. Don't drink and drive. From your spooky friends at 99.9 The Fan and Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Dorofeev shuttles a shot, and a save made by Anderson, still loose in the blue paint. Carolina getting a stick to it. Anderson recovers. It comes back to Hutton, and this will stay in. Good play by Hutton.
I think Nikishin saved a goal, Mike.
Desperation by Carolina. Another chance. Anderson on Dorofeev will make a huge save to keep this tied at 2.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy hockey night in Carolina, everybody. I've made this joke a lot of times, but some of you may not have heard it yet. Canes play tonight, taking on the Islanders. Night before Halloween. No ghosts. See what I did there? Shane Gostisbehere, not in the lineup. Hurt. Ghost, not there. Halloween, and yeah, I don't have to explain it. Canes versus the Islanders today. I make the joke about no ghost, but it's really not a joke, right? It's part of the story right now for what the Canes are dealing with is injuries. And even when it's not injuries, it's doing what they can to prevent injuries. Things like we're expecting Brandon Bussey in net today, which is obviously giving Pyotr Kochetkov all the time he needs to get healthy and protecting Freddie Anderson from being overworked early on in the season, and then also rewarding Brandon Bussey for being pretty darn good in his first 3 starts. So there's the injuries to Keandre Miller, injuries to Jacob Slavin, or I should say injury to each of them, injuries to Shane Gostisbehere. Already missed time with one, now missing time with another. Carrier, Robinson, both out, both on the IR. It's notable, okay? It's notable. Here's one of the things that is unfortunate, but it needs to have happen. In the Canes system, the forwards are already asked to do a lot, right? They're asked to play every inch of the ice. You can't just be a cherry-picking offensive player. You have to do it all. Guess what? You got to do even more now. The forwards have to carry a lot of the weight of the blue line, and it goes back to something, Dennis, actually you brought up to me yesterday, and then looking at the lines today, it was reinforced for me. Top line expected to be Aho centering Ehlers and Jarvis. Second line expecting to be Stankoven centering Hall and Blake. Third line / Stahl line expected to be Stahl centering Svetch and Martinuk. The top 9 on the forward side for the Canes has been relatively stable. And Jankowski and Kotkaniemi on the fourth line, those guys have been through battles, right? They're veterans. They've been around. Nadeau being the one kind of, new piece still getting their feet wet. But Nadeau is your top prospect, right? So the forwards, because of the stability, because you don't have as many obstacles in front of you, I think you have to use that to your advantage and take some weight off the blue line. Because if you look at the blue line, I thought this was hilarious. Yesterday at practice, Walt Ruff, team reporter, he always tweets out like who's skating with who, what are the pairings. Mm-hmm. He put out the lines of forwards, right? This is what it was, and it was basically what I just said. Then he got to the defensemen, and he didn't even put out lines. He just wrote, the 6 on defense are rotating frequently. And it was like, all right, that's the difference right now, right? The forwards, they have lines, right? They're like the school bus, right? You don't have to have assigned seats, but everybody knows where to go, right? They just go out to practice and no, I'm skating with you, and all right, here we are. The blue line, they're like seats at like I don't even know, somewhere where you walk up, it's like a pizza party, right? Who's sitting next to who? Who's at the cool table? Rod Brindamore's putting out name cards as kids are walking in, going like, all right, you're here. Oh, no, flip that. We can't have you two sitting next to each other. You're over here. They're figuring it out on the fly.
I'm pretty sure those young guys are wearing name tags right now.
Yeah. They're doing the right at the beginning of training camp in college football, all of the freshmen and new players, they have just the masking tape across the top of their helmet with their name. And sometimes coaches use it as like a like when you've earned the right, then we take the tape off, and a lot of times that also puts the logo on the side of your helmet, like you're now one of us. Legault, Nystrom, they still have the masking tape across the top of their helmet. Not saying they haven't earned it, because obviously Nystrom, taking a puck to the face and going back into the game, that's going to earn you the respect of a lot of people in the hockey world. But it's so new that you just to know who they are. I catch myself doing this, especially since they've been on the road so much. We've been watching on TV late at night. I always say for our numbers game, which we play at 5:30, I'm not good with hockey numbers except for the stars, because everything moves so fast. You actually get to know the players by like their body posture and like how they skate and just what they look like. So at your peripheral, you can go, oh, that's Svetch. Oh, that's Aho, without having to go, what number is that? Recently, I've been doing a lot of who is that? I don't have that body posture figured out yet. They're big. Okay, it's Legault. They're small. Nah, it's probably Fensori. Like you figure
yeah.
You figure that kind of stuff out, but it takes a little bit more time. So just in pure common sense, the forward should be further along than the blue line right now. And that means the blue line should be able to lean on the forwards. Even with, give the new guys credit, right? They're doing their best. And at times you don't notice they're young, which is fantastic. Matter of fact, here's a clip of Rod Brindamore talking about those very same young guys holding their own out there on the ice.
I think they've done their job. You go through all the games. Of course, there's, I don't even call them mistakes. They're just situations where maybe they shouldn't be on, but they are, and playing against players that are the elite of the world, and they're hanging in there. And that has not been actually the issue in some of the games we've kind of thrown away at the end. It's not those guys. So I think they've done everything that we've asked them to do.
I agree. And that was from today, by the way, with the idea that, they were going to be depended on again today. Right? They're doing their job. The issue is the job they're being put into is probably more than what their job is, right? Nikishin, Walker, top line. Chatfield, Nystrom. This is as of morning skate. Chatfield and Nystrom, second line. Riley, Legault on the third line. Could it be as simple as we want at least one vet on each pair, and thus it's Walker and Nikishin? Nikishin is technically the most experienced of the young guys. He's played 9 regular season games.
Yeah.
Chatfield and Nystrom, that Chatfield experience, Nystrom brand new, Riley Legault, Riley experience, Legault brand new. Like it might just be we want at least one veteran out there at all points in time.
Also, you have 4 right-handers, which is interesting because remember the beginning of the season with their normal core, it's like, whoa, who's going to play their offside? They have 4 lefties. Now it's, okay, which one of you righties can play on the offside? And it's actually going to be Jalen Chatfield, like you said. So I just, you're spreading out experience with each of those pairings, like you said, and just a level physicality and stuff as well on each. So it's good balance that Rod can throw out a pair out there, and or Tim Gleason, the defensive coach, and be like, all right, at least I got a veteran out there for sure.
It is a lesson that we are 100% not going to learn, but we should. It's pointless debating lines for the month leading up to the regular season, right? Oh, who's going to skate offhanded was such a dramatic conversation that we had because you had this obvious top 6 defensemen and 4 of them, oh no, what are we going to do? We're not even 10 games in and we have the exact opposite problem of what we were dealing with.
And 3 of those lefties aren't playing right now.
That is a lesson that we should learn that we absolutely will not learn. And then or something like, what do we do if Stankoven doesn't work at center? And you talk about, could Jarvis be a center? Is Kokaniemi ready to go back to being a second-line center? And then Stankoven's done pretty well. And it's like, you know what? That was another whole conversation that we didn't really need to have. But if we could predict the future, we wouldn't have them. But we can't. So we gotta break down everything every which way. Tonight, go ahead.
Let's see. Do you think as well, like during the stretch while Keandre, Chingasas Bear, Jacob Slavin, these guys are all out, realistically, because it's not an easy task for these young guys in sustainability. Roddy even said that after one of the games recently. I think, if I remember correctly, it was the game against Dallas, against the Avalanche. Just how long can you sustain this? If you can get through, let's say, like middle of November, like November 15th, if you can get through that stretch of games, you're basically 500 points percentage before you start getting guys back, my eyes, that's a win.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Just bank points as best as you can. If you're at 500 or slightly better in terms of points, that in terms of, again, those specific games, you've already banked some points at the beginning of the year. Like I'll take that right now with what they're dealing with.
We don't know how long some of these absences are going to be.
For sure.
If they are for a while, guess what's going to happen? Eventually, we're not going to talk about Nystrom as like, oh no, what are they going to do to protect the new guy? It kind of goes like this. Right when they get, and this is every sport, not just hockey, right? When a new guy is forced in, it's panic, protect the new guy. Everyone, it's like the whole team is big brothers, and it's this little brother out there that everybody's looking out for, and after every shift, hey, you doing all right? What'd you see? You good? And then it probably gets ugly for a little bit where they're like, all right, you got to figure it out, kid. And he's on his own, and then it just becomes normal, right? And then he's just a peer, and then he's just one of the guys. If they get there, if they ride the entire roller coaster, that little dip and the positive vibes of backing your guy up, and they come out on the other side, and they're not, in the basement of the division. They have some points. They've banked some. They're still in good shape. And Nystrom and Legault, and even somebody like Riley, who's kind of projected to be the healthy extra. Like, if all of those guys are seen as peers, like, I don't know. You've earned it. You've been out there. You've proven you fit. And then you get back Slavin, and then you get back Ghost, and then you get back all these other guys. That's a huge advantage. But, I mean, it's kind of like for me, it's what like running is. I hate it the whole time it's happening, and then as soon as it's done, I'm like, heck yeah, I got better today.
Yeah.
Went for a jog, got my cardio up. Like, that's what it is. Like, you're going to hate playing 3 rookies on your blue line the entire time you're doing it. And then when you're done, heck yeah, we got better. Look at that. These young guys are ready to throw in there. It's that you got to get through it to enjoy the positive vibes.
By the way, real quick note on tonight's game. Matthew Barzal, New York Islanders, not playing tonight. Patrick Waugh, their head coach, says he's healthy. Disciplined for being late to the rink today. Wow. So he'll play tomorrow in D.C. Apparently he was late. All right, Matthew, you're not playing today.
I mean, I respect it, but wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, no Matthew Barzal for the Isles tonight.
That is very much a former player, head coach, no messing around. I mean, I respect it, but wow. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It brings me back to The Jimmy Johnson thing, one of my favorite stories. Jimmy Johnson running the Cowboys. A linebacker, third-string linebacker, falls asleep in a meeting. In front of the whole team, Jimmy Johnson cuts him on the spot. Just, hey, you're sleeping in my meeting? No, you're not. Gone. You're done. Talk to the GM on the way out. We'll tell you, what the contract situation is, but you're done. Somebody comes up to him and says, wow, that's your team rule? Wow. What if Troy Aikman fell asleep in your meeting? He goes, I'd wake him up and say, Troy, you need some coffee? It's hard to be actually, with everyone on your team. It's hard to be completely fair, but, benching them for a game is a little different than cutting them. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Here's one of my favorite things to say. I got favorite stories. I got favorite sayings. I also have favorite things to pass along to you to help you save money. Gordon Miller and Miller Lending want to make sure you don't waste any of your money on closing costs and fees, especially when the average length of time that you hold your mortgage in this country, it's 4 years, and it's been that way for decades. So within, 4, 5, 6 years, on average, you're either going to pay your house off, you're going to move and need a new mortgage, you're going to refinance, right? Something's going to happen where the mortgage you sign is no longer what you're paying monthly. So why in the world would you pay a whole bunch of money to buy down a rate that takes you 8 years to break even, right? If you spend all this money, you'll get a lower rate, but you're only going to be breaking even 8 years from now and then making money all the next 22 on your 30-year mortgage. Chances are you won't make it to 8. So instead, go no closing costs. No costs, no fees. Don't pay extra to buy your rate down. Their no closing cost loan is just that. No closing costs. Zero means zero. And obviously, on average, within 4, 5, 6 years, if you're refinancing, do it again. No cost, no fees. Get that lower monthly payment. It's that simple. The number to call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2502146. We'll take a break. When we come back, Dean's List, whole bunch of watch list nominees, and one of Dennis's favorite people to talk about. Stick around.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $750 million now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $750 million. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 291 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's bow time. Fumble in the food on game day? Rookie move. But Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Trimble challenges the shot. It's short, no good. Wilson, one hand cuffs the rebound, and the freshman on the run. Caleb Wilson, coast to coast for the finger roll.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, just like every game day where we have, or every Carolina Hurricanes game day where we have a show, We'll be taking first goal scorer predictions about an hour from now. 4:33 is around the time that we do that. We'll take some of you on the phone lines. Obviously, Twitter is a way to or X.com is a way for you to get those predictions in. At Donnelly Sports is where I've put out the tweet asking for first goal scorer predictions, and we'll see if any of us get them right. Hopefully we do. I'm rooting for all of us. Obviously, that's impossible, but yeah, I'm rooting for it anyway. In the meantime, it is time for the Dean's List. Dean's List, where we give some extra accolades to those in the college sports world that have made a little bit of news that deserve a little extra praise. And we'll get the requirements out of the way first. More awards watch list. There's an insane amount of awards in college sports, and they love a watch list.
It's hard to keep track.
Today, the basketball awards, which we've Monday was point guards. Tuesday was I forget what they were. Either way,
shooting guards. Yesterday, small forwards. Today, power forwards.
Power forwards, exactly. It is the on the men's side. It is the Karl Malone Power Forward of the Year. Top 20 preseason watch list. There are 2 players from the Triangle on the list.
Nice.
Cameron Boozer, Duke.
Yep.
Who, at least in the exhibition season, has lived up to the accolade. And Caleb Wilson from UNC are 2 of the 20. Both 5 stars, both top 10 recruits in the country. Both 6'9" to 6'11", depending on shoes and hairstyles at the time.
Yeah.
They're going to be 2 of the premier players in the ACC.
They're both fantastic.
If I was Caleb Wilson, I think it's a softer field than small forward.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I would have nominated as a small forward, right? But hey, we'll figure it out. It's like at the Golden Globes, The Bear, the show, was winning all of the comedy because they just submitted them. So they're like, we joke occasionally, submitted themselves as a comedy. Didn't want to go up against the dramas. Kind of makes sense. On the women's side, it is the Katrina McClain Power Forward of the Year Top 20 preseason watch list. Toby Fournier from Duke and Camille Pierre from, I believe, NC State. Am I making that up? Let me make sure I get that right. I wrote down N, which obviously is not NC State. I was right there. I got scared. I was like, did I just attribute an NC State player or a UNC player to NC State? No, it's NC State, as I was originally guessing. I guess it's like if you have a French-sounding last name, you make it, right? Fournier, Pierre. Is that part of the requirement?
Might be, actually.
Still, they're very, very talented players. And obviously on the preseason watch list. Congratulations. But that's not it, Dennis.
Oh, I have one.
Okay, go ahead.
Renee Kelly tabbed for the Naismith watch list from UNC basketball.
I didn't even know the Naismith came out.
Yeah, Naismith Trophy watch list.
I had a different watch list I was going to. There's so many awards in college sports.
Zoe Brooks, also from NC State, on that list, and Toby Tournier. Duke. For Women's College Basketball Player of the Year. So, yeah, we have players all from the Triangle, as well as Ashlyn Jackson from Duke, also on that list. So Duke's got a couple.
And the men's side of that list hasn't come out because Naismith goes to both.
I have not seen that.
Okay. Fair.
Also, Camille Pierre from NC State.
Just discussed.
So, yes, a couple NC State players, a couple Duke players, including a UNC player as well.
Okay. And then one more award, different sport.
All right.
The Davey O'Brien Foundation unveiled the Davey O'Brien QB class of 2025, which is 36 quarterbacks, 3 dozen quarterbacks from across the nation who are now officially in contention for the Davey O'Brien National Quarterback of the Year award. Darian Mensah of Duke on the list. Byram Brown, who is not in the college world of our area, but is from Wake Forest and is now playing for South Florida.
Played at Rollsville High School.
Played with some studs there as well. And he is a stud in and of himself. So he's on the list. And Nick Minicucci from Delaware. Minicucci, baby. Nick Minicucci. When I'm watching Delaware games, I do have my son, let's go Blue Hens. When Minicucci makes a play, he let's go Minicucci. I'm like, that's a hilarious thing to hear a 4-year-old say, just because it is. So there you go. Those are the awards list. That is a rule for us. If you make a watch list, we try to highlight that. You know what else happened, Dennis, in the college sports world? Former Carolina Panthers head coach Matt Rule signed himself a 2-year extension with Nebraska.
At the end of the day,
now it is kind of just like a straight extension, and what I mean by that is they didn't give him like a huge raise, but he's making $11.7 million per year, and I believe they just said, what if we just take that and extend it out another 2 years? Which
deal?
Yeah, I don't think it probably took him too long to sign it. And it did with some of the buyout numbers. Makes it pretty unlikely that he'll take a new job this offseason.
Yeah, the buyout number, if he wanted to leave for another job, increased from $5 million to $15 million. So if he wanted to take another job, he would have to buy out of his contract. It would cost him $15 million. I mean, pretty much, guarantees it doesn't go anywhere this offseason.
Hopefully he didn't waste any of that Tepper money. He could pay it if he wanted to.
That's true.
But I don't see him doing it. And maybe I'm soft. Maybe I'm a little sentimental. Oftentimes, I don't really care how it ended with the team that I care about. I want to see him go be successful at other. Like I'm happy Martin Necas got his money today, $11.5 million per year over 8. I'm happy Matt Rule's getting paid. As long as it's not the money coming out of like my salary cap, the team I care about salary cap. As long as someone else is paying it and they're not winning too much, I'm good with it. So credit to Matt Rule. Get those Huskers rolling. Anything you want to add about Matt Rule? I know you guys go way back.
Too many things to add.
Okay.
Too many things to add, Tim.
Fair.
But at the end of the day, I'm proud to be a Husker.
And for
just out here growing corn.
For 2 more years. Dylan Raiola. Now he can stay without worrying about his coach leaving.
Great corn.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Dean's List here on The Drive. Class dismissed. Speaking of big money in college football, there's a pretty darn big game over the weekend. A couple of ranked opponents. Oklahoma, they are 18th in the country, visiting number 14 in the country, Tennessee. Heisman Trophy winner from 1992, two-time national champion Gino Torretta will be on the call, and he joins the show next on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Don't go anywhere. We talk to Gino about everything college football next.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I travel coast to coast covering hockey. But when I'm back home, I head to my home away from home, Buffalo Brothers, for the best wings on the planet. You can't beat their specials at all 5 of their Triangle locations. Every pro football game day, you can get Miller Lite Draft for $4.50 and Blue Moon Draft for $5.50. Pet-friendly patio too. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
I am here with Patrick Day of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I'm on your website. Gutter helmets right on the front of the website. Do you have a gutter helmet to fit my head? I have a small head.
We have a gutter helmet for every head, Adam. So anyhow, if you give us a call, we'll come out and take a look at your windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, and of course we can do the gutter helmet. We have financing programs that are really good. So we have like 12 months with 0 payments for 12 months. You don't have to pay anything. So if you're thinking about home improvements and you're thinking you're saving up for it, just come on and see us and we'll go ahead and get you set up and get your project done, and you can pay in 12 months from now.
I feel like you're speaking directly to me. If it's for the exterior of your home, there is no better place than the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You can find them online, aluminumcompany.com. Siding, roofing, windows, entry doors, storm doors, and the world-famous gutter helmets. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 1-800-672-4348.
Brian Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits. Live at Lenovo Center, Raleigh, November 5th. With special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are expecting to talk with Gino Torretta, two-time national champion quarterback, 1992 Heisman Trophy winner. During his time with the Miami Hurricanes, he'll be on the call for Oklahoma, Tennessee, which you can hear right here on 99.9 The Fan this weekend. Speaking of hearing play-by-play on 99.9 The Fan tonight and this weekend, things like the Carolina Hurricanes hosting the Islanders tonight can be heard on 99.9 and the 99.9 The Fan app. So download the app, Google Play Store if you're on an Android, App Store if you're on an iPhone. And once you're there, there's live streams for games, live streams for shows like this one. There's podcasts. There's things to read. There's contests. There's so many different things for you to have that we work really hard on putting out here on 99.9 The Fan. So please download the app, 99.9 The Fan on the Google Play or App Store. I'd give you an extra thank you, an extra You the Real MVP, if you send us a 5-star rating in that store, either App Store or Google Play Store, and give us a positive review. We would greatly appreciate that. But the key is download the app, make a little profile, give us your email, and you might win things too. And then in addition to that, subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Over 20,000 subscribers, building a community there every single day, and we want you to be a part of it. Mix it up in the comments. Today, about an hour from now at 4:45, we'll do something we call a feedback frenzy. And a feedback frenzy is simply proof that we go in and read the comments on our YouTube channel, and as well as all of our social media, right? Follow us on every social media. But a lot of them come from YouTube. Dennis goes finds some of the best reactions, questions, comments from many of you. We bring them on air, and we react in real time. So that's what you can do to get more content and more information about the favorite teams that you have. It's 99.9 The Fan, the app, and 99.9 The Fan on YouTube, and 99.9 The Fan on all social medias. Do you know what I was thinking? And we're going to start the conversation with Gino about this, Gino Torretta, when he joins us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. This year in college football, it's a strange year in that usually by now, right, most teams 8, 9 games in, 7, 8, 9 games in, whatever it is, usually by now we have some Heisman ideas. Usually by now, right, with Gino being a former Heisman winner, meaning he gets the vote. I think usually by now there's a handful at least, right? If you're like a recruit, you've put out your top 5 list, right? I'm limiting. Thank you to all the coaches that recruited me. I'm limiting it to these 5. I think usually the Heisman voters by this point, thank you to everybody in college football for trying, but I'm gonna focus my search on these 5 names. I don't even know who those 5 names would be right now. I mean, you could look at the best teams and just give it to the quarterback. You want to give it to Sayin at Ohio State or Dante Moore at Oregon, something like that. Maybe it would work, but it seems wildly open at this point in the season, which is what we'll start with Gino Torretta, now that he joins us here on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. As I said, two-time national champ, 1992 Heisman Trophy winner during his time with the Miami Hurricanes, and he'll be on the call for 18 Oklahoma, number 18 in the country, Oklahoma, at number 14 Tennessee. Gino, we thank you for the time. We were just talking about it, and you have a unique perspective being a Heisman Trophy winner, and obviously that comes with a vote. How up in the air is the Heisman contest this year? It seems like by now usually there's at least a handful of names that we're kind of aware are in the mix.
Yeah, you'd probably say that. I don't know. I'm always late to the game because I vote with my eyes first. I vote. I kind of put together a list of players that I've seen firsthand, and then okay, if those aren't the guys everybody's talking about, then I got to go reevaluate the other players that some people are talking about. But I think you're right. I think there hasn't been maybe a clear-cut favorite. I guess it seemed like every week there was a different favorite. But probably like 4 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I think some of that is however this year's schedule has worked out. I mean, there's a bunch of SEC schools that are about to go through gauntlets of schedules. Essentially the playoffs start this weekend for Oklahoma and Tennessee because whichever one loses, you probably say they're done. They're out of the playoffs. So they're fighting for it all. And I think that there are so many critical games here in the last month and change of the season that, this is maybe a little bit later than normal.
And along those lines, with us being here in ACC country, are you buying Georgia Tech as one of those teams that are obviously CFP implications, but are you buying them as a top 7, top 8 team in the country at this point?
I will say this, huge fan of Haynes King. I mean, a quarterback, he's tough as nails. I mean, hell, he beat Miami, and all he did was go in and do running plays, and then they put in his backup to throw passes last year. Chris Wenke's a friend of mine, and he loves coaching him. I'm buying them. I think that, really their test is it's not, winning the ACC. I think it's their last game of the year when they play Georgia. I think that will validate their season in its entirety, the very last game of the year. But I'm buying them. I like their coaching. I think they're tough. I think they're hard nosed, and they believe they're going to win. And in college football, I think that means a lot. When you have a belief that you're going to pull out a game in the end, I think Georgia has a belief they're going to pull out a game in the end. I think that I'm a believer in them.
Gino Torretta, 2-time national champ as a quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Gino, I know you've been super successful in the media thing post-football, but seeing some of these coaching buyout numbers, do you ever go, why didn't I go into coaching? I could have really cashed in by not being great at my job?
I would like to be part of the former coaches lottery winning ticket number. There's no question. I think about it. Hell, there's so many jobs opening this year. Maybe I can go back and I'll start a quarterback coach right now and make it work. I think it's I think it'd be a great job. It's a lot of fun. I help out a high school because one of my teammates' son is a wide receiver here down in Miami. So I shake my head because I try to get them to go under center, but none of these quarterbacks want to drop back anymore.
I do want to quarterback nerd out with you for a second here, just because you have Tennessee on the schedule. And I played college quarterback, University of Delaware, so not on your level, but I like to think I speak the language.
Yep.
When you watch Tennessee's offense, and this is always, Hendon Hooker had to deal with this, Josh Heupel's had to deal with this at multiple stops. Is it almost too quarterback friendly to develop quarterbacks because, they're not asked to get to a fifth option or a fourth progression? It's a lot of these kind of one and done concepts. It's super effective, don't get me wrong, but it's different than what we've seen from quarterbacks.
But isn't that the goal? Isn't that the goal, to keep the game simple? Like to me, I don't think it's I don't think it's just. I think there are principles that they have in their offense. When they throw out the wide receivers are almost off the field on each sideline, and if a defense doesn't adjust, they throw it. If they adjust, then they got numbers and they run the ball. I mean, that's a simple concept. I mean, you know what I mean? If you have 5 blockers and there's only 4 guys rushing the passer, you should have plenty of time to throw the football. And that's where I think that, Coach Erickson, taught me, listen, if you want to change the play, go ahead. Just make sure it works. But if you walk to the line of scrimmage and somebody's 10 yards off any one of our wideouts and they're going to give you a 6-yard hitch, take it and keep doing it until they stop it. I mean, it's not, to me, that part should be easy. It's like, we don't need all the shifts, the formations, and the motions. Okay, I like that sometimes, but we don't need to base our success on tricking the other team. How about we line up, and if they line up wrong, we're going to take advantage of it. And I think that's what, quarterback front, that's what I would say Tennessee does, is they line up in certain formations, and they have, okay, if this is what the other defense is going to do, they can't cover both of them, we're going to throw this. And I think it keeps it simple for the quarterback. It's obviously taking a guy in Aguilar that hasn't been there very long, and he's been efficient as all get out. And that's kind of today's game, if you will, especially with the transfer quarterback, is you have to, basically coach a guy in 1-year increments.
I'm glad you brought up Coach Erickson, because your Miami era, and obviously just a little bit before Jimmy Johnson, Coach Erickson, a few others, are some of the only coaches that have bounced up college to pro to college, and really had some success on both sides. Here in the Triangle in North Carolina, Bill Belichick has attracted a little attention. I don't know if you've heard. I'm obviously being sarcastic. What do you think? I
have heard.
Yeah. What do you think the future looks like for Belichick and UNC?
Well, I think one, they have to figure out, as I would say, every college right now. I think you have to form some type of NFL operation, just like he had it at New England. And what I mean by that is you have to have a personnel department that is essentially scouting 130 other Division I schools, and by the way, all the FCS schools, the Division II schools. Do we miss a player, or can we get a player for cheap? And that, so you have that constant culling of your roster, and then you have to have the money behind it. The recruiting pitch isn't anymore, hey, come to Miami, you'll have a chance to win a national championship and get a good degree. Every question for your 85 to 100 guys on your team is, okay, but how much are you going to pay me after that recruiting pitch? And I think all of those pieces need to be together, and they need to be in sync. And I don't think North Carolina is or was in sync. I don't think their personnel, obviously, you guys see it. You're right there. It's not, it's no secret they don't have the best personnel in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And I think that if it's me, then that. Listen, Coach Belichick knows football. I mean, there's no question he knows ball. Can't win the way he's won and not know football. But it also teaches us it truly is the Jimmies and the Joes, not the X's and the O's, that are going to win the game for you.
Gino Torretta, two-time national champ, 92 Heisman Trophy winner. Gino, before we let you go, we learned like a month and change ago that there was a big old chunk of change given to your old program, the Miami Hurricanes. But that commitment came with a caveat that they needed to put some statues outside, and one of them was of the 92 Heisman Trophy winner yourself. What pose are we talking? Have you done the designing? Have you talked to the artist? How does it go when you know a statue of yourself is being made?
So I haven't talked to the artist yet. I pretty much have picked out the pose, and I was questioned initially by the university because they're like, "But that's not of you during a game." And I'm like, basically, there was a picture taken of me after we won the national championship. We went undefeated in 91, beat Nebraska in the Orange Bowl, and I'm facing the parents section. I had my helmet up, holding up one hand, we're number one, and I'm like, that's what I want people to remember. I want them to remember 2 national championships. I want them to remember that time where we were 55-5 in 5 years. We didn't lose in the Orange Bowl. That's what I want them to remember, and I thought that basically displayed, me as the consummate team guy and successful quarterback, and that. And I think that's what I'm going with. But it's probably an 18-month process from what I understand. I guess the guy's got to come measure my big head and make it bigger for a 7-foot statue. I think is the metric on it.
Going helmet off is a risk, right? Because the face and that better trust the artist on that one, right?
Well, you know what he did. Coach Ron Frazier, our Hall of Fame baseball coach, he did a statue of Coach Frazier outside the baseball stadium down here, and he did a spitting image. So I'm going to go with that. But yeah, you're right. I'm hoping he goes with like the 21-year-old Gino and not the 55-year-old Gino.
Nice. I like it. Gino, we appreciate you for joining the show like always, and have fun on the call. Oklahoma, Tennessee, that's a big one.
Sounds good. Anytime, guys.
Once again, Gino Torretta, 92 Heisman Trophy winner, joining us here on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. I like it. I kind of like going with the celebration of the national championship as the statue. Like, no, I want everybody to remember me after I did all the cool stuff, not in the process. I want the finished product. I like it. By the way, I looked up the picture. It's pretty Pretty baller picture. I'll just let you know that one. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will be back with Football at 4 coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. In 3 months, I've lost 40 pounds. That's right, 40 pounds in 3 months thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center and their program. And last week, I had a follow-up visit with them to discuss my progress. And one of the things that we discussed was not only how to maintain the weight that I've lost, but if I wanted to lose a few more pounds in a healthy, progressive way, this is the plan to follow. These are the steps that you need to take. And that's something that I appreciated about the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center is the fact that not only is there a plan for you to lose weight, but also to maintain weight, but doing it in a healthy way and losing it at a rate that is healthy for your body. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. That's right, a free 15-minute phone call. Figure out if the program is right for you. I'm living, breathing, walking proof that it can work. 919-897-7506 or RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. My goodness, it's nice to see that sunshine again, isn't it? And comfortable temperatures too, mid-60s, just a bit breezy with a southwest wind gusting 20 to 25. Clear skies and colder temperatures tonight. We'll see lows in the low 40s, but beautiful for Halloween. Sunshine with mid-60s, and as the trick-or-treaters head out the door, temperatures will be in the mid-50s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. The Dow Jones this afternoon. Up 15 points. Actually, I'm sorry. I corrected. Down 110 points to 45,521.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4. And set your watch by it. Here's the deal, everybody. Carolina Panthers are 4-4. If you just end there, it's a very successful first half of the season, or first near half in the season. I don't think anybody before the season would say you're disappointed with an 8-win season. If you go 8-9, I think everybody preseason would say that's a huge step in the right direction. You're probably more confident in Dave Canales, Dan Morgan. There's probably a core of players that you're growing more confident in. So if that's the case, stay with that energy, right? It's 4-4. Keep playing the exact same level of football, likely 8 wins. Or at least good chance of 8 wins. Likely it might not be the right way. But here's the thing. One half season of football that is some percentage better than what you've been putting on the field the last couple of years isn't going to change the way the world thinks of you. You still have to do that. And do you know how I know? Dion Dawkins, tackle for for the Buffalo Bills, which, I mean, call a spade a spade. The Buffalo Bills whipped up on the Panthers pretty good. It was 40-9, right? Final score doesn't lie. You are what the scoreboard says you are. After the game, he and A'Shawn Robinson, one of the biggest, scariest dudes on the Panthers, just from a physically imposing standpoint, they got into it, little shoving match, little war of words, and had to be broken up. Derek Brown, by the way, another pretty physically imposing individual, was the one that grabbed A'Shawn Robinson and ended it, essentially. Teammate grabbing teammate, pulling him away from trouble. A lot of times, that's where it ends, right? You see a shoving match, that's it, right? What happens on the field before, after the game, during the game, it's kind of it's a place where competitors go, modern day gladiators go to let out their primal physical urges. That's a weird way to say it, but that's why you don't talk about it, right? Because it's weird to talk about. Dion Dawkins went on Deebo Samuel's podcast, and he did talk about it. And we have some of that audio for you. Here's Dion Dawkins talking about A'Shawn Robinson and the breakdown after the game.
Dudes in this league are corny. They are corny, bro. Dudes be corny, Deebo. If somebody says to you during the game, fight me after the game, you gonna look at him and be like, this ain't the WWE? This ain't UFC?
That boy say fight you after the game, crazy.
Like, what is that? They'll run their mouth, and then once they get there, then it's like, all right, see me after the game. I'm like,
you must was dumping, bro, out there.
Like, it was 40-9. Emotions are high, right? Emotions are high. You can see them. Like I'm helping yo tackle with tips on how to play tackle, and you coming up and talking crazy in my face. Like, bro, listen, bro, how you gonna walk up to somebody with the mindset like, oh, I'm finna fight this dude, and then walk up to my face and say anything? Why are you saying anything to me? At that point, you should be reacting, right? Like, what are you doing?
Man, you corny! He called him corny. There was a lot of like, man, bro, what are you doing? That's talking about the Carolina Panthers like they're the Carolina Panthers from 2 years ago. That's a contender, and Dion Dawkins has been on the Buffalo Bills for a long time. He's one of their core pieces. Left tackle, bit undersized for left tackle, but he's more of a technician, and he protects Josh Allen.
He's darn good too.
Yeah, no, I'm not downplaying Dion Dawkins at all, but I don't think Dion Dawkins does that if he's playing a team that he respects a little bit more. Right? I don't think he would have done that to Derek Brown, and I don't think he would have done that to a whole bunch of others, but there is still, and that's I'm getting at this, like there should still be that motivation in the Panthers locker room that to a lot of people in the NFL, you're still a joke. Or you're still not to be respected, or you're still to be pushed around. And when you get angry and you want to fight, it's corny. It's not competitive fire. It's corny. I saw speaking of, I'll put our own network on the line a little bit here. Chris Canty on Unsportsmanlike listed his top 5 hot mess teams, and number 4, Carolina Panthers. They're 4-4. They're improving a good amount from last year. For as maybe questionable as some of the decision-making has been from my perspective, you have not heard a dissenting opinion from inside that locker room all season. The right things have been said at every step. I don't know what your definition of hot mess is, but I wouldn't look at the Panthers and say hot mess this season. I look at the Panthers last 5 years and go, yeah, there's some hot messes happening there. You haven't changed opinion yet is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I'm curious who else was on that hot mess list.
I had the graphic.
I'm sure imagine the New York Jets are on that hot mess list. The New Orleans Saints are on that hot mess list.
I mean, there were other teams, don't get me wrong, and now I can't find it.
Of course.
But I will during the break, and I'll bring it up. It is part of team sports is the and not just team sports, part of football, right? Physical contact sports. And I've said this a bunch of times. If I'm a coach, the number one thing that a coach could like whisper in my ear when we're doing the handshakes, right? When you post-game handshake, head coach runs to midfield, win, lose, or draw, you shake hands, and if you're doing the respectful thing, you probably pat each other on the back a few times and say a sentence, your boys played hard, whatever it is. The thing that I would want the most is something about physicality, right? Thank goodness we don't have to play you again next week. Hey, your boys absolutely, physical as heck. Like, those are the things that coaches go to the locker room, even after a loss, with a little bit of pride. And then the vice versa is true too, right? If somebody is out there not talking about your aggressiveness, not talking about your physicality, calling you corny, calling you a hot mess, you realize there's still work to be done. You realize there's still work to be done. And the Panthers aren't going to get anywhere they want to go until teams start seeing you as a peer. And you see it, right? I'm not even just saying the physicality. There's an intimidation that comes with certain players in the way they are respected. The most obvious examples being, give the ball to Patrick Mahomes with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, down 4. When an opposing team should be all confident to the world, right? When they should be ready to pounce and smelling blood. When it's Mahomes on the other side, there's a little bit of like, well, we better still keep it locked in, stay quiet. We don't want to set ourselves up here. And then because of that, they play tight, and it actually it helps Patrick Mahomes be successful in those situations. The Panthers are the opposite. Opposing team starts running the ball on you, which, by the way, the Buffalo Bills did. Right? Dawkins gets that first quarter with a couple big runs, couple big holes for his running back. There's not, okay, buckle up. The Carolina Panthers are gonna knuckle up and be ready to fight in the second quarter. Instead, they're on the sideline smiling, saying, "We got them, boys." James, hey, Cook, you're gonna have a good day today. A'Shawn Robinson just challenged me to a fight. We got him right where we want him. Corny. That's what's happening. There's no, buckle up. The Panthers are getting mad. There's, the Panthers are getting mad. How cute.
Man, you corny.
And then he feels comfortable going to talk about it with Deebo Samuel publicly. Like right after the game. It was like a couple days later, he's talking about it on a podcast. That's not, Gary Payton, or you hear a lot of stuff about like Kevin Garnett's trash talk now, right? Players from his era are on podcasts now. They're talking to like Matt Barnes about all the crazy things Kevin Garnett said. Nobody was saying that about Kevin Garnett when he was playing, except for the stuff he said about Carmelo. And the reason being is because you want to make him mad. As much as those of us, and we do watch every game, those of us that watch every game and study every play and watch them twice, we know the Panthers are growing. We know things are not as bad as a 40-9 loss would seem. The rest of the league is not giving the Panthers that respect. They have to continue to go out there and earn it every single day, and I think that's part of their culture. At least I hope that's part of what they're building as a culture. And along with giving the ball to Rico Dowdle more and protecting the football and everything else, knowing that other teams are trying to punk you, and if you let them, they will. Especially players like Dawkins, who are pretty good up front. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Hopefully after this week, if anyone, Micah Parsons on a podcast, he jumps on those every now and then to talk a little trash.
By the way, those hot mess rankings.
Yep.
So this is Evan Cohen. ESPN, unsportsmanlike. Number 1, Browns. Number 2, Falcons. Number 3, Titans. Number 4, Panthers. Number 5, Vikings.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a few I would object to there. Vikings are a hot mess?
I mean, yeah, you're just dealing with an injured quarterback and stuff. I don't know, maybe.
I actually think Kevin O'Connell runs a pretty good club over there.
Yeah, I just think they're just dealing with injuries at quarterback.
I mean, injuries at quarterback have taken down a lot of teams that were the opposite of hot mess.
Yeah, I'm like, no Saints?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you just benched your quarterback. Now you're going to a 26-year-old rookie? You're tell me you're not a hot mess.
They're going to the veteran. What do you mean? He's older. He's older than Rattler.
Veteran.
He's not more veteran, but he is older.
I think he might be like 2 years younger than Sam Darnold.
Wow. He's 26. So he's drafted at 26. He was born in the 1900s.
Some of us were, Tim.
Me too. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we get to the ladder challenge, Dennis Cox has something to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here for Loan Pronto. Folks, what if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Right now with Loan Pronto, they got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's rapid equity loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and save $2,100 a month. One phone call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low, so act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
We'll be back with more of The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan, and we are just today and tomorrow away from finding out who wins October in the Ladder Challenge. Next step in that race coming up next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and the Islanders.
Blake with it, he scores! Oh, what hands! Jackson Blake, he's a magician, and it's 1-0 Carolina.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck drop at 7:30.
Snaps the shot, he scores! Sebastian Aho! And it's 2-0 Carolina.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's Bo time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
Carolina going for 2 in the win. Hall goes in motion. Shotgun snap to Lopez. Rolling out to the right. Lopez throws it to Hall. Short of the end zone. He dives and...
The game is not over. The game is not over. The game
There's
is not
been
over.
no signal
yet. The game is not over. The game is not over.
You hear the referee, Daryl DeBerry, saying the game is not over. Did Hall get to the pylon or not?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It might be worse when the ref says the game is not over 10 times and then the game is over and you didn't win, which is what happened to UNC. It's not over. It's not over. You're like, they said it's not over. Never mind. It's over. You lose. They can right that ship. They can win a game this weekend.
I know we talked about it earlier this week, but I love the fact that UNC went for it in that situation.
I love that they went for it.
I love that they went for it. Now, play calling, we can debate that, but the actual mindset of going for the win right there, I absolutely love it.
It's you know who I think we have to thank, and I know it was happening analytically before this, but he's like the patron saint of it, Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell showed up with the Detroit Lions and just like blanket told the media, I'm going for it on 4th downs, and I like to eat kneecaps, or whatever he said.
Like kneecaps.
And he talked about being in a chicken shack, and he talked a bunch of crazy stuff. But amongst those things was included, I'm going for it on fourth downs. I'm confident in my offense. And then, 4 or 5 years later, the Lions are one of the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl. And it's like, you know what? Maybe that had something to do with it. So now a lot more people go for it on fourth down. And like the crazy ones too, not just, you're 7 yards outside field goal range and it's 4th and 1. It's also like we're on our own 28-yard line and it's 4th and 3. Like there's a lot more people going for it on fourth. There's a lot more people going for 2. They do the when you're down 8, going for 2, like all the analytics things that say early on to go for 2, which makes it easier later. Everyone's doing it. Shout out to Dan Campbell. And I don't know if he was an analytics guy or if he's the exact opposite and is just what everybody thought Riverboat Ron was. He's going for it, and I respect it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, which leads us appropriately into our next segment, which is the ladder challenge.
Oh, my God! And for the 20-foot ladder with a spear on Jeff Hardy. For the love of God, Jeff Hardy may be broken. Smack dab in half.
How crazy do we want to get with the ladder challenge? Do we want to go for it or do we want to play it safe? Ladder challenge, likely to win bets every single show for an entire month. If you win, you roll over the stake, you let it ride, stake, pay out everything on another likely to win bet the next day between -500 and -1,000 odds. If you get them right time after time after time, you can make some real cash. If you lose, you go back to $10. Whoever has the most money at the end of the month wins. I believe I am still in the lead. Last night I had Grizzlies Suns over 22.5. The actual over-under was 242.5. I teased it 20 down to 222.5. They combined for 225. That's why we tease it down. That's why we go likely to win. 113, 112. That's the score. It's a winner. I'm taking it. Brings me up to $33.12. Dennis, how'd it go for you?
I had Zach Werenski of the Columbus Blue Jackets yesterday in their game against the Toronto Maple Leafs to have at least 2 shots on goal, and he did. He actually had 2 shots on goal, including actually did score one yesterday. So that took me up to $26.94.
The only reason I don't like Werenski is because on a lot of lists, he's like just a few spots above Slavin for defenseman, and I'm always like, come on!
Werenski's a stud, by the way.
I know, but just I get very petty and bitter when I see Slavin not as high as I think he should be.
That's fair.
And Werenski's name's just always around. So through no fault of his own, I just don't like that guy.
Guilty by association.
Exactly. Either way, we have to make our picks for today. Since I'm in the lead, I will start us off. I'm looking Thursday night football. Ravens, Dolphins. I'm teasing the over all the way down to 39.5, or the over/under down to 39.5, and I'm taking the over. So they have to score 40 points combined or more. That's -543 when I locked it in earlier today. Lamar is back, so I think the Ravens offense will do better.
Okay, so he is officially playing tonight. I wasn't sure about that.
At least on my fantasy football app, he has no injury designation, so do with that what you will. The Dolphins offense showed some signs of life last week versus the Falcons, and both of their defenses stink. So
that's very true.
That's good for the over. So give me over 39.5. Turn my $33.12 into $39.21.
I think both those teams should have been on Evan Cohen's hot mess list.
The Ravens probably think their hot mess is going to go away with Lamar coming back.
True.
Dolphins, very hot mess.
They're just beyond hot mess. All right, I'm going to go to the ice. Give me Kyle Connor of the Winnipeg Jets. They're at home against the Chicago Blackhawks. Give me Kyle Connor, one of the best forwards in the entire NHL, to have at least 2 shots on goal. It's a -800, so my $26.94 will turn into $30.30.
All right, and just today and tomorrow, whoever has the most at the end of the month is the winner, and we'll see how it goes. That's the ladder challenge. Now here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan, it's time for Cons and Cons.
To play great defense, you need one thing above all else. That starts with a W. Confidence.
Cons and cons. That is confidence and concerns. What are you most confident about? What are you most concerned about? We put different teams into the machine and we kick out answers. For today, this is our last cons and cons before college basketball starts. Right? We do this every Thursday. We have Hurricanes and cons on Wednesday. College basketball season starts Monday. We'll have 15 ACC teams in action Monday. Duke, Texas on Tuesday. Like we're rolling. So we figured we'd put the 3 teams from the triangle into our cons and cons machine. See what we come up with. Dennis, what team should we start with?
Let's see. Let's go NC State.
Okay, NC State. As always, good news, bad news. Which do you want first? Give me the bad news. We start with concerns. I'll lead off. My concern is true bigs.
Okay. That's fair.
They can run. They have length, particularly on the perimeter. A lot of wingspan. Guys like Darian Williams who can play bigger. Van Allen Lubin who can play bigger. But the only guys taller than 6'9" on their roster are senior Scotty Ibube, who's 6'11", and Musa Sagna. And I apologize if I mispronounced it. I did work on it. He's a 6'10" freshman. Though they're not like all of the sizzle that Will Wade has brought with this recruit, this transfer, that transfer. Those two weren't the buzziest, right? They're not the highest expectations guys. So if you go up against a team with like a true 7-footer or somebody that can really make some plays down low, I think they might need a few more fouls to give down there, if you know what I mean.
That's actually my concern as well, is the fact that can they handle, so yes, size down in the post, for the simple fact that I know they got Van Allen Lubin, but even, we talked about it last year at Carolina, he was an undersized post player. And especially when you look at Carolina, the size that they've added, we know that Duke has a bunch of size as well. So I don't know how they're going to be able to handle that length just on a consistent game in and game out basis. Now, most teams are going to be playing in college basketball. I think they'll be able to handle it fine, especially with their perimeter players. But if you actually got to muck it up down low with a Vasar at UNC, or you got to go against a Cam Boozer at Duke or Patrick Gomba at Duke as well, it's going to be difficult to handle. But I think they definitely have the perimeter players to compensate for it. But there is a concern down low in my eyes.
Van Allen Lubin transferring directly from UNC to NC State gives us a really good retort, right? Because like Van Allen Lubin at times, I believe, will be the tallest guy on the floor for NC State.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that lineup, it's, hey, you need some more size there. They're probably going to get bullied at times. And State fans, as every time I criticize State, they go, would you say that if it was UNC? I'm going to go, yes, actually exactly that. When he was the tallest player on the floor for UNC, I said the exact same thing. So, we're accountable on this one. Confidence. What are you most confident about when it comes to NC State basketball? Will Wade is infectious. I was looking at it. This weekend they have a 5-star, Dylan Mingo, taking an official visit. 6'5". He's the number 5 overall prospect in the 2026 class, and the number 1 number 1 shooting guard. And then later on, just in a couple weeks, they have a 5-star planned official visit with Darren Rippey Jr., who is number 11 in the country and the number 1 point guard, according to 247 composite rankings. These are, now you got to land them, right? But Will Wade showed up and NC State immediately jumped into conversations that they were not a part of, even though they'd been in the Final Four just, 18 months earlier or whatever it was. Whatever he's selling, people are buying. And if you can get a 5-star, a top at their position player, that doesn't happen very often for many programs. So Will Wade's infectiousness is what I'm high on.
You and I are very, very similar wavelengths on this. My confidence is the fact that it seems like the players are taking on the personality of their coach, and the fact that he can get everyone to buy in. Now, he's got a couple guys that he coached previously at McNeese State, like Kadir Copeland coming with him, so that helps. But for a new coach to come in and establish that culture. But the thing about Will Wade, and again, I think my confidence, again, the fact that the players are embracing this as well. They have they have a little bleep it to them. Actually, I'm sorry, they probably have a lot of it.
Yep.
And you know what? That's probably what that program needs. Actually, it is what that program needs. So, yeah, the fact that the players are embracing the personality of their coach, they're going to come out there swinging against opponents this year. They're going to go out there and try and wreck it.
I think it often starts that way. And then after you're really good for a while, some of that anger subsides and you're just really, really good.
Yeah. And they got some dudes.
Yeah, but you
got
to
some dudes.
You got to have some like not rule breakers, some like shake-uppers, you know what I mean? To shake things up. All right. There you go. That's why they pay me to speak for a living. You need some shake-uppers to shake things up. Let's move on. What team do we go to next?
Let's go Carolina. UNC played last night. Let's go Carolina.
UNC concerns. I'll start with. I'm concerned that they have way more size than they had last year, which is an obvious correction to what they were dealing with last year. I'm concerned that every big wants to be a guard. Vessar, Stevenson, Wilson, these are all guys 6'10", 6'11", right? They're big dudes, 7 feet. But they can also all handle, shoot. They can do a little bit of the stretch big stuff. And I want to make sure there's always like 6'11 plus within an arm's distance of the goal. You know what I mean? Like get right under the hoop at times. What I don't want to have happen is like Seth Trimble is driving to the hoop and has 3 7-footers at the 3-point line going, kick out. Like I want a couple lobs. So I just want to make sure every big doesn't think they're a guard. What are you concerned with?
Depth at point guard?
Interesting.
Because you had Kyan Evans coming over from Colorado State, but after that, is Seth Trimble going to be the backup point guard?
Probably.
For Evans? I mean, that's so to me. It's actually it's back. It's weird. It's an overcompensation almost, like you said, to last year's team because last year's team was so guard heavy with Davis, Cadeau, Ian Jackson, Drake Powell that they had to play that small lineup. And now it's just a complete 180 roster-wise. Now, again, bigger roster, which I think is a good thing. But now I wonder if they actually have the backcourt depth to handle on a night in. Like, because what if Kyan Evans gets in foul trouble? We don't know if Luka's going to be able to play this season. We don't know what the saga is with that. So what is the rotation going to look like in the backcourt for UNC and Hubert Davis this year? That's my question going forward.
They do have a freshman. I want to make sure I got his name right. Derek Dixon coming in, who is a 4-star. I think he's officially listed as a combo guard, but he's 6'4". Don't quote me on all of this exactly. I think he's a top 50 recruit.
I know he was a high 4-star.
So if forced into it, I would assume he would be one of the options. But
it's a lot to ask a freshman.
Yeah. Yep. I think he's a DC kid. I think that's where I know him from. Either way, it's a good point. Finally, let's go to Duke. Oh no, wait, we got to do confidence.
We got to do confidence for you.
Got to do the fun part. Confidence. I've been trying to drive this bandwagon faster and faster and faster. Caleb Wilson. If anyone lets Caleb Wilson sneak up on them, I am going to be standing there laughing, going, how? He's a 6'10", 6'11", 5-star, 8th overall recruit with ridiculous athleticism. Had another poster dunk last night, by the way, against Winston-Salem State. He's 20. I saw a quote. Actually, I have the quote here for you. I texted it to myself because I said I'm going to want to say this on air, and I don't want to forget it. He was quoted after saying, 20 and 10 is my goal every game. As long as I get that, I feel like I did something. It's a true freshman at North Carolina. I feel like I did something as long as I get 20 and 10. I don't get out of bed for less than 20 and 10. I think Caleb Wilson is going to be somehow a 5-star top 10 recruit in the country, projected first-round pick, who is also like one of the biggest surprises in the country, which doesn't seem like it adds up, but I think it's going to. Caleb Wilson's one of my my bandwagons I'm driving this year.
Mine is actually the versatility of their front court. I love the fact that you can have a guy like Jaron Stevenson, 6'11", that is not afraid and is also capable of stepping outside and stretching the floor at 6'11". Not many teams can defend that. So the versatility of their front court is going to be a massive asset for Hubert Davis in my eyes. But yeah, Jaron Stevenson, the fact that he can be 6'11", Caleb Wilson, like you've been driving that bandwagon. Yep. And Vesar's not afraid to step outside either at 7 feet. Versatility in your front court is massive for this program.
All right, we have to pick up the pace here because we have first goal score predictions coming up. So Duke concerns, similar to NC State, true rim protection, like true bigs. And I'm a big fan of Malik Brown. I'm a big fan of Pat Ngongba, especially the offensive version of Pat Ngongba. Defensively, Ngongba he'll foul now. He's been caught in foul trouble a decent amount. And Malik Brown is more about 6'9" and versatile and can guard 1 through 5 than he is like true rim protection. Last year, Kaman Malawash and Cooper Flagg, when necessary, both could really defend the rim. They're going to be looking to other places for that, and that's kind of, if I'm nitpicking, one of the things I'm concerned about Duke.
Mine is, who's the veteran presence in the backcourt? Because last year you had Sion James. You also had Mason Gillis as well. Like, there were the veteran guys in the backcourt to go along with all those freshmen. I know Caleb Foster's still there, but he kind of also takes on that role of what Tyrese Proctor was, being a third-year player in the program. But they lost some veteran guys in that backcourt with Gillis, James, and Tyrese Proctor all being gone.
Malik Brown, the three.
We saw him step out and hit a couple threes late in the season
against UNC. He did. All right, and finally, confidence for Duke. My confidence, the improvement of John Shire.
Yeah.
3 years as head coach at Duke. 3 improvements. Each year they made it further in the NCAA tournament. Each year their final AP ranking was higher than the previous year. I think it was 12, then 7, then 3. It was second round, then regional final, then Final Four. If you continue that trend, you got to be top 2 in the NCAA championship next year. That's the only way that graph, that line graph continues up. I'm not saying that's 100% going to happen. Like, hey, I found the key. But I do think that he's going to keep getting better as a coach. What's your confidence, Dennis?
Cameron Boozer.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty simple. You're going to have the best player on the court pretty much 99% of the time this year. That helps.
That does. And there's cons and cons for ACC basketball teams ahead of the season opening on Monday. Now it is time on a hockey night in Carolina here on 99.9 The Fan to grab some first goal scorer predictions. Call in now. On the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326, to lock in your prediction for who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period they score it. 919-860-5326. We need a name, we need a player for the Carolina Hurricanes, and we need a position, or a period. What period do they score it in? First goal score predictions, 919-860-5326. Call in now. While Dennis fields the calls, gets everybody lined up, I'll let you know, everybody here at 99.9 The Fan, because we want records of it too. We compete just like everybody else. To lock it down, we have Paul Ihander, the host of Next Up, 9 to 10 every weekday here on 99.9 The Fan. Seth Jarvis in the first. Aho gets the assist to keep his point streak to open the season continued, I should say. Max, who produces Next Up with Paul Ihander, you hear him on this show quite a bit. He has Nikolai Ehlers in the first. This was one of my favorite responses. He said, Ehlers in the first. I said, all right, any other details you want to add for bragging rights? Is it power play? Is it a slap shot? What is it? And he thought for a second, and then he went, no, but he's going to be really happy. And I was like, that is a perfect detail. It's like, you'll see it in the celebration. Ehlers will be really happy. And I went, you know what? Perfect detail. I think we all will be if Nikolai Ehlers scores tonight. Hasn't done so. Hasn't scored a goal yet this year. Adam Gold from the Adam Gold Show. He locked in Martinook in the first. He did say it was shorthanded, and he did say Svetch would be in the box.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Victoria has settled in on this prediction a few times. Victoria, producer of the Adam Gold Show. Jarvis in the first, but not in the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'll give you mine in a second. Dennis will give you his in a second. But first, we want to hear from some of you. We have Chad in Hillsboro on the call-in line. Chad in Hillsboro, welcome to the show. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
I'm going to say Stahl in the first.
Stahl in the first. Any details you'd like to add?
It's going to be nasty up there on the thing on a deflected.
All right, nasty, deflected. Goal in the first. You are locked in. We appreciate it, Chad. We'll let you know if the bragging rights come through. Jonathan in Chapel Hill, you are up next. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
The first pickle's out of the jar. Why not Andre in the first?
All right. I like it. So the seal has been broken, and now it's floodgates?
I wouldn't turn it down.
All right. Any other details you want to add?
Yeah, just after the Canes successfully kill a penalty.
Okay.
Andre scores on his way out of the box.
I like this. It's a theme. Every prediction is going to deal with Svetch in the box. I appreciate it, Jonathan. You are locked in, and good luck to you. That brings
all best, Tim.
You as well. That brings us to Jeff and Wilson. Jeff, you're our final caller. Give us a good one. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
I had to change it up from the last guy. Let's go to Keishan with a 95-mile-an-hour bomb from the blue line and the waning moments of a power play.
Oh, so it's power play. I love everything about that. I think it's going to be a big night for Nikishin. 95-mile-an-hour bomb on the power play. You are locked in, and good luck to you, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, so we're locked in with the callers. If you failed to get through on the call-in line, try again next game. We do this every time there is a game on a show day. But also you can run to my Twitter at Donnelly Sports. You can respond to the text or the tweet asking for first goal scorer predictions. You can also go to our YouTube live stream, 99.9 The Fan, and in the comments give us first goal scorer predictions. As long as there's a timestamp on it, wherever it is, we'll give you your credit if you get it right.
I might have to start sending stacks of comics at people that get this stuff right. Like if it's like this specific, like Svetch scores after the Canes kill a penalty when he steps out of the box.
You ready for
the first?
You ready for this one? Because I do always say, give me details because I think it's more entertaining.
It's more fun.
Kara on Twitter said that she wanted to say Nikishin power play in the first, but what are the odds of the Canes getting a power play at all? So she went with the official guess of Taylor Hall in the second, closely followed by a KK goal, and then Jankowski. So she's not saying first goal score prediction. She said, I want all three of them in this order. Here you go.
In the second period?
Taylor Hall in the second, closely followed by a KK goal, and then, so I'd assume they're all in the second.
Okay. Well, if that happens, I'll stack of comic books coming from me.
There you go. Dennis, what are you locking in? What's your prediction?
Honestly, I was thinking what Jeff and Wilson said. I was like, do I go Nikishin on the power play just to kind of will it into existence again? But actually, not on the power play, but still give me Nikishin in the first period.
Nikishin in the first?
Nikishin in the first period. He jumps in on a rush, gets a trail pass from Logan Stankoven, and buries it.
Trail on a rush. The hard part about asking for more details is when I'm writing these down to lock everybody in, it's way more writing than just like Svetch first, which is really what we used to do. Now it's like Svetch in the first off a skate. It's going to be shorthanded. It's going to have this person in the box. Rod's not going to be watching because he's going to be looking at the Jumbotron to see if a previous play was like, it's like, goodness gracious, there's a lot going on.
The goal's going to look similar to when Shane Gostisbehere scored a goal earlier this season on that drop pass from Logan Stankoven on a rush where he jumped up in the play. Similar type vibe.
I did write this down. I was not copying Jeff. I was not copying you, and it's been written down since this morning. Nikishin in the first for me, and I did go power play with it. I think today is one of those days where we recognize the star power of. I almost said stall power. The star power
might be the stall power.
The stall power of Alexander Nikishin. I think it's going to be a highlight. Whether it's 95-mile-an-hour bomb, whether it's a bit of stick handling that you don't think a guy his size from the blue line should be able to do. Whatever it is, I think it's going to be a highlight goal, and I think it's going to be from Alexander Nikishin.
Let's see. We have a Kokiniemi tip in. We also have Ehlers in the first period as well. We also have an Ehlers on the power play in the first period. And Willie Walker says, Ehlers in the first, trying to will it into existence.
I did put, and there's a whole bunch of picks online on Twitter. I did say, in a follow-up tweet, and I want everybody to get the benefit of this. Last game, we set a season high for picks for one person, and it was for Andrei Svechnikov, and he scored, and on a power play, no less, to open the scoring. So if we all kind of join forces, we might have some control over this thing. But I will say this. We did not have, at least as of now, right? You can respond all the way up till game time. As of now, we do not have a like condensed selection. There's a lot more variety today. There's not like everybody rooting for Svetch. There are a lot of Ehlers. There's a lot of Nadeau. There's a good amount of Jarvis and Aho, which we're used to seeing. And then you sprinkle in a Martinook, you sprinkle in a Nikishin. There's a few others, but there's not like there was last game where everybody picks Svetch and then it came true.
Rodney said, first goal scorer, Aho shorthanded at the end of the first. I asked who was in the box. He has not yet responded.
Yeah, that's a house rule, by the way.
Yes.
If you call a shorthanded goal, we will follow up with who's in the box. You need to have that answer, which is why Adam, when he said Martinook in the first shorthanded, I said, who's in the box? He hesitated not at all to say Andrei Svechnikov.
I think that's the default. That's just default selection. Just, all right, Svetch is in the box.
There's a few interesting characters that have been in the box a few times this year, but Svetch, he's a legacy in there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Thank you to everybody that participates in first goal score predictions. I really enjoy seeing which one of us knows Canes hockey. When we come back, we'll hear from more of you, perhaps about the Canes, but a whole host of other options as well. Feedback Frenzy, next up here on The Drive.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and the Islanders.
Blake with it, he scores! Oh, what hands! Jackson Blake, he's a magician, and it's 1-0 Carolina.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck drop at 7:30.
Snaps the shot, he scores! Sebastian Aho! And it's 2-0 Carolina.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
Adam Golden studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, let's paint the scenario here. I need windows, but man, I don't have 3 hours to go through the process of deciding what I need, when I need it. Can you help at the Aluminum Company?
Absolutely. So, first of all, when we come out to your house to look at your windows, typical window appointment may last 45 minutes, an hour. We're certainly not going to make a 4 or 5 hour commitment to talk about windows. We're there to help.
Serve dinner last time.
Right. Listen, my wife always says, I talk to my wife all the time. We have salespeople, whatever we're doing. And my wife, I tell her all the time, I can't stand salespeople. And she laughs. She's like, you are a salesperson. I'm like, well, the difference is I'm just having a conversation trying to help people get what they want. I'm not there to pressure you. I'm just there to help you get in and out. And it's a pretty quick appointment. It's pretty efficient. So we're there to help you and make it quick.
I can vouch for that. The Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online at aluminumcompany.com.
1-2 to Freeman. There's a dozen for Trey Yesavage.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're getting a bunch of first goal scorer predictions in on Twitter now. And it does seem as if, since I said, so many of you picked Svetch and it worked, and there's no real condensing of picks this game, that everybody said, oh, we can condense them. We've got a bunch of Ehlers real quick here. So we know who everybody wants to see score today. They want Ehlers. And I think that's mostly just getting get him off the schneid.
By the way, real quick, we mentioned before the break, Rodney on our YouTube live chat said first goal scorer, Aho, shorthanded at the end of the first, asked who was in the box. He said Martinook in the box.
Yeah. Martinook, by the way, I was talking with Adam Gold about this earlier. Last game for Martinook, he played great, first of all, scored a goal, picked Eichel's pocket, did all of that, had the thing where he lost the skate and had to crawl and dance and hop and do whatever he could to get off the ice. It was a really, really good Martinook game, and it's I just like to point that out when he has those, like, full, the entire spectrum, right? Felt like the type of game where he's going to play well, he's going to score a goal, he's going to change the game, he's going to be impactful, and then he's going to have a couple beers and laugh about it after the game. Not laugh about the loss, but just laugh about some of the ongoings on the ice. I like to point it out. When he's going well, he's really fun to watch. The Drive, Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. What do you want to point out? That's what we ask and answer during a feedback frenzy. All right, the way this works, Dennis peruses the internet for all of your feedback, whether it's a reaction to a conversation on YouTube, social media, whatever it is, and he brings it on air and we respond. Dennis, what are we looking for?
All right, let's actually go to our YouTube live chat. Speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes tonight, this actually one comes from John Randolph Rhodes. John Randolph Rhodes 2651 says, Ehlers. It's Ehlers night in Carolina. Ehlers breaks through with not one goal. He gets a hat trick with one on a power play. Just saying.
Sometimes in sports it happens that way, where I guess maybe first goal would track, but like in baseball, when you have 2,999 hits, and then you go on a 10-game hitless streak, and then you get like a seeing eye single, and then hit 2 homers later in the game. It's like once you get past that milestone, everything goes crazy. The longer this drought, quote unquote, goal drought goes for him, maybe the more likely it is that he's gonna break the seal with like a nonsense goal right off a skate or something, or he doesn't even realize he deflects it, and then he hits 2 snipes to get the hat trick because it's that weight is off his shoulders. Perhaps I would love to see it.
All right, let's actually go to a conversation we had yesterday about Bryce Young possibly being on track to return for the Carolina Panthers this weekend. He was a full participant in practice once again today. That's also a good sign. Full practice yesterday, full practice again today for Bryce Young. And this one comes from Chris Stern. Chris Stern says, Canales, Dave Canales, the head coach, has to call plays that have a couple of short routes, install and run a couple of screen plays, but also rollouts with a running back or tight end chip the defensive end so Bryce can find the bigger plays. He sits in the pocket waiting on long routes while Corbett and Zavala or whomever allow pressure, and maybe our tackles versus Micah Parsons. It will be a long day on Sunday if that's the case.
Well, first of all, just bit of news from today. Mike White, I believe, put on the 53-man roster.
Yes, correct.
So there's some quarterback movement happening there. You probably know Mike White best from a stretch of starts he had with the Jets a handful of years ago, but he was most recently on the Bills. So they're trying to say that they need to call short passes to open up the deep passes? Is that what he's getting at there?
Well, just thinking making easier regarding this Sunday, making some easier, shorter routes for Bryce Young to complete. That way, the help alleviate some of the pressure.
Okay. The only thing I would add there, play calling is a difficult beast, and sometimes it's hard to get like the short, easy ones if a defense isn't respecting some of the deeper stuff, right? There's nothing worse than calling like a now screen or something, like just a tight end stick route, something that is supposed to be like a guaranteed completion. And because the defense isn't respecting anything deep, everybody is within 5 steps of the line of scrimmage, and they blow it up. And you're like, geez, we can't even complete one of these just gimmies. And that's where I think Tetero McMillan comes in. I think you use him to soften a defense, then you can start getting some of the easier stuff for Bryce.
All right, let's actually go to a conversation you mentioned about yesterday about how Caleb Wilson, UNC basketball, kind of being overlooked to an extent, which is kind of a weird thing.
100%.
This actually comes from a couple people in the YouTube comments from that video that was posted yesterday. This one comes from Sean, and this one comes from Gary. First, Sean says, Hubert Davis is the problem. And also Gary says people are so down on Hubert, that is the reason why people are down on Caleb Wilson. So people are maybe just looking down as a whole on UNC because of Hubert Davis not being as highly thought of.
I don't disagree that the groundswell around Hubert is probably playing into it a bit. I think Caleb Wilson might be one of those ones where, like, unless your coach isn't playing them, he's going to find a way to be impactful and make plays. If Hubert Davis leaves him on the bench, then we'll have some conversations about Hubert Davis. But as long as he's smart enough to say, hey, the giant, really good athlete that can do darn near everything should be on the court, I think we're gonna see everybody get very excited about Caleb Wilson.
All right, this also comes from that exact same video regarding Caleb Wilson. This one comes from Ruffin. Ruffin says, the diss of Caleb Williams just gives him and his teammates more fuel. They recognize what he brings to the table for all of them to eat the feast at the end.
Interesting. I would say everybody has their own disrespect on that team right now. Maybe outside of Vasar. Vasar, for whatever reason, does seem like everybody's like, no, that guy's good, and maybe even expecting kind of significantly more than they saw from him at Arizona. But just about everybody else on that roster probably is a little under-talked about for what they want to be kind of treated as. And that includes Caleb Wilson, which makes no sense to me, which is why I'm driving that bandwagon. But I don't think anybody on North Carolina has to go I am insulted for Caleb. I think they can be, their chip on their shoulder can be there completely independent of the one on Caleb's shoulder for the most part.
All right, let's actually go back to the Carolina Hurricanes here real quick, because we talked yesterday about how the Carolina Hurricanes are relying on a lot of their defensive depth in the organization, just organizational depth as a whole. They've used 10 defensemen already this season. 10. Will Park says, the future is now. We are getting a full look at Alexander Nikishin in a big role. You can tell he wants to pound shots at the net. He breaks them sticks often. Because he broke a couple last game.
I talked about the one earlier when the Canes pulled the goalie and he broke a stick almost right away. Here's the thing. I love that Alexander Nikishin is getting the opportunities. Like, we're expecting him on second-team power play. We're expecting him skating top pair minutes with Walker. I'm wildly excited for it. I've been a big Nikishin fan since he showed up. But here's the thing. When the Canes are fully healthy, is he skating top pair minutes? Like, I'm not saying that he's been insulted by not getting these opportunities. He's just like, they got some dudes. Like, it's the benefit of depth is like, all right, if you're giving him these opportunities, you recognize who you're not giving these opportunities to, right? Like, if he's not on first-team power play and it's because Gostisbehere is doing a really good job or Gostisbehere brings something else, that's not necessarily an insult to Nikishin. I think eventually, like you say, the future is now. Not many of these guys are gone in the next year or two, right? He's going to have to pass some very good players. Like, I'm not talking about pass it to them. I'm talking about, like, pass them in a race. He's going to have to leapfrog some very good players to get, top opportunities on the Canes, because they got some top dudes.
I think something that you may potentially see come out of this when guys do get healthy, depending on how well Nikishin plays on the power play and how effective he is on that second unit, he might stay there.
Yep.
Which then, all right, Keandre, you don't have to play as many minutes, or, that's an extra shift you get to maybe go on the penalty kill or even strength shift.
We've seen two defensemen on that second power play unit a few times. If it's Miller and Nikishin, that's a different beast. A lot of size back there.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't hate the fact of Nikishin and Gostisbehere on the first power play unit.
Oh, even more interesting. I don't hate.
Might be too many lefties though.
But I don't hate Nikishin just standing there, like, in the windup already. Just, you don't have to quarterback anything. When we give you the puck, you shoot.
Yeah.
For lack of a better analogy, Mighty Ducks. What's his Fulton?
Yeah, Fulton Reed.
Like, if he's going to be Fulton Reed, I know that, I'm sure hockey fans are like, you're comparing us to Mighty Ducks. I'm just saying, if you got a 102 mile an hour slap shot, I kind of want you to be Fulton Reed. The drive.
Let it fly.
Yeah, seriously. Let Gostisbehere do all the setting things up. You let it fly. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is a feedback frenzy. We appreciate all of you who interact with the show online. It's fun for us. In the meantime, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I know a lot of people have been listening. Maybe you haven't heard it before, but I've been on this weight loss journey with Raleigh Weight Loss Center for 3 months now, and I'm 42 pounds down. I've eclipsed that 40-pound mark. Next one, trying to get that 50-pound mark. Trying to get down to 50 pounds down. But also one of the things that I appreciate about Raleigh Weight Loss Center and their program is no shots or injections, so none of the side effects or anything along those lines. No HGH, not doing steroids, not juicing up over here or anything along those lines. The program is designed for you and your body to do the thing it naturally can do, which is burn off weight. It's about resetting and restarting your metabolism. That way you can burn off the fat, especially the visceral fat that's all around your organs. That number has dropped significantly. I've had so many of my just health markers improve, from resting heart rate to my overall sleep performance. So many things about my health have improved because of the weight that I lost. My fiance doesn't even notice when I'm asleep because I'm not snoring anymore at night. Those are the kinds of things that have been a benefit from the weight that I've lost at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Not only have I lost weight, but also I'm maintaining that weight loss as well. And that's the thing that's most encouraging. If you have questions about the Raleigh Weight Loss Program, if you are unsure if it's a program that is best for you, set up a free 15-minute phone call. That's right, a free 15-minute phone call with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. You can visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or give them a call, 919-897-7506, and set up that free 15-minute phone call. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have any health issues, ask those. Bring those to the forefront. That way they can figure out if this is the best program for you. And if you're concerned if it may or may not work, I'm living, breathing, walking proof that it can. Again, 42 pounds lost in 3 months thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, has the starting five up next, including an ECU player having the night of his life. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Man, it started off rough for Dan Campbell. He was able to right the ship. One day, we started out 0-10-1. Everybody was going back to the introductory press conference, talking about how awkward it was, being a kneecap biter and all of that stuff. Now everybody loves that stuff. Just give it time to fully bake when it comes to Aaron Glenn. He can't go winless, but I think Aaron Glenn finds a way to keep his job going into 2026.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm glad he agreed to this date, Mr. First Tuesday.
Oh, me too, but I have to admit something. I've never been on a first date.
But you are a date, and first is in your name.
Yeah, I guess I've just been married to my work, you know? Spreading the news about new scratch-offs coming out every first Tuesday.
New scratch-offs release every first Tuesday?
Wait, you don't know about new scratch-off tickets that come out the fur? Okay. Well, okay. You got me.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with a Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate down to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with a BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. It's nice to see some sun out there today. A little breezy with temperatures in the low 60s. It turns chilly tonight, mainly clear overnight tonight. Our low drops into the low 40s. And then looking good for Halloween, mostly sunny with highs in the mid 60s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, down 110 points to 47,522.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is 5 o'clock on a Thursday, which means it is time for the starting 5. It's actually that time every single weekday, not just Thursdays, but today it's a Thursday. So let's start where we always do, with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1-2 to Freeman. There's a dozen for Trey Yesavage.
Trey Yesavage. Savage. Take a bow, man. Take a bow. a rookie Major League Baseball pitcher who a year and a half ago, not exaggerating, like a year and a half ago, was pitching for the ECU Pirates in Greenville, mowed down the most expensive roster in baseball that money can buy. The Los Angeles Dodgers didn't stand a chance with Trey Yesavage on the mound last night. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 12 strikeouts, including strikeouts of Ohtani, of Freeman, of Betts, like all the guys that make all the money. He didn't avoid them. He went right at them. And most importantly, he got the win. It is what I can only imagine the stuff dreams are made of. And do you know what's really cool about being a starting pitcher in the World Series?
What's that?
And I saw, what's his name, Kershaw kind of going through this. You kind of know when, like, the hay is in the barn for you, and you, like, he went out, did his job, pitched game 1, did solid, pitched game 5, did phenomenal. He'll probably try to be ready for a game 7 if they need him in some kind of relief fashion on short rest, but really it's like, all right, guys, we're up 3-2, right? I want us the 2-2 pivotal game 5. We're up 3-2. Take it home for us.
Hey, guys, I did my part.
Yeah, he gets to sit in the bullpen with some sunflower seeds and the best seat in baseball. And a place in history if Toronto wins it. Like, right there reserved for him.
By the way, 12 strikeouts, that's a rookie record. Also, first pitcher in World Series history to have 12 strikeouts without a walk. World Series history. How many of these have they played? A lot.
Yeah. I read a book about Wahoo Sam Crawford from Nebraska, a player from like the early 1900s, played in some World Series and stuff. They used to play best of 9 as the World Series.
Yeah, at times.
There have been a lot of World Series games throughout the century plus. You know what's crazy? You say 12 strikeouts, rookie record in the World Series. I'm not surprised by that. I'm like, yeah, 12 is a whole bunch.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's sometimes you say, it's the first time it's ever happened in history. And you're like, really? No one's ever done that. Huh? Like the Trey Yesavage owns the record for most strikeouts in a debut by a Blue Jay, like going back to the regular season. 9. I was kind of like, 9, really? Huh. Thought a few guys might have had more than that. 12 in the World Series by a rookie? Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense nobody's done that before.
Yeah, but then also, you factor in the first pitcher ever to have 12 strikeouts and no walks. I'm like, look how many great pitchers have pitched in the World Series. And none of them have ever done that.
And a lot of them were going up against, maybe defensive clubs or going up against teams that, win with defense and pitching. I'm talking over the centuries.
Mm-hmm.
He's up against the Dodgers with Shohei Ohtani. Like, they got professional hitters over there, and I'm not talking about the type, like everybody gets paid. I'm talking about they got 30, 40, $50 million a year players, $70 million a year players. Although you could argue he's not a $70 million a year hitter because he also pitches. Either way, unbelievable for ECU. And I talked about this maybe yesterday. Enjoy it, ECU. Like, one of your guys, you helped develop him, right? He learned stuff in Greenville that just helped him stay calm and pitch game 5 of the World Series. Like, take your bow and recruit the heck out of it, right?
For
Go
real.
to every pitcher that you're recruiting and say, Trey Yesavage, we did that.
Hey, see that guy that struck out Ohtani? Yeah, he was pitching here 2 years ago.
What were you doing last night? Oh, you're watching the game. No way. Which game? Oh, yeah. He's ours. Commit, please. And do you actually know what the real move is for ECU? Just wait for that second contract for Trey Yesavage.
Right.
And then get that, Yesavage practice facility. If he keeps up anything like he's done in his rookie year, oodles and oodles of money. Seriously. Long way to go, though. He almost is so good so early. It's like, can he keep it up for the next 6 years until he can get paid? What number was that? Was that number 5? We're still at the beginning. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 altogether.
Trimble challenges the shot. It's short, no good. Wilson, one hand cuffs the rebound, and the freshman on the run. Caleb Wilson, coast to coast for the finger roll.
Caleb Wilson for the North Carolina Tar Heels basketball team. They got after Winston-Salem State pretty good in the exhibition last night. Credit to Winston-Salem State. It was closer in the first half. Second half is where it became like a 40-point game. But, you know, I don't know, maybe got a cool profile picture or something, right? Trying to shoot against UNC.
It is pretty cool for those guys.
Oh, no, 100%. My roommate in college played basketball at the University of Delaware. They played at Duke. And he was a bench player at the time. They obviously lost by a bunch. And he got in late in the game, and he has a picture of him inbounding the ball with the crazies all wiggling their fingers at him.
That's awesome.
And I'm just like, come on, dude. Really? I'm very jealous. I was like, is that the background of your phone? Oh, come on. It's the background of your phone, isn't it? It was cool. Either way, UNC basketball played Winston-Salem State last night. UNC won by a bunch. Luka Bogovac still hasn't been cleared by UNC to play for UNC. And notice my wording there specifically. He's been cleared. He has, yes, been cleared by the NCAA to play. International prospects, sometimes there's some confusion, right? When did you start playing with this club? Is this club professional? What's your eligibility? The NCAA sometimes has to sort through some things, and the NCAA isn't always the quickest. But they've done their part and said Luka Bogovac is eligible. UNC, I guess, has their own separate thing that they have to go through to make a player eligible. He hasn't passed that yet. He is enrolled in classes. He's taking classes at UNC. I don't understand why, but Bogovac, you know, I did hear, right, from those that were there, that after everyone else kind of left the floor during warm-ups, he wasn't in, like, gear. He was in street clothes. He did grab the ball and knock down a three. He's supposed to be really good, right? He's like everyone that the recruiting services, the scouts, he's supposed to be really good and a contributor for UNC this year. I don't know. I hope he can play by next Monday. Like, you know, just a couple days from now. That's when their first game is. I hope he can play by Monday because it seems like he should, but I don't know the details. So I'm passing along my own bewilderment to all of you. If any of you have any info on what it means or how or what he needs to do, let us know. That's number 4. Now number 3.
At the end of the day.
So here's the deal. The college football coaching carousel. People are dizzy, right? That might be the way to describe it. If you are motion sickness, stay away from the college football coaching carousel because it's whipping around at a pretty good clip. Dennis, Matt Rule, former Panthers coach. He used, I believe, the Penn State opening probably.
Yeah.
To go to Nebraska and say, listen, I'll pass up all interest from Penn State if you give me a nice chunk of change. And they said, how's a 2-year contract extension? Deal. I don't know if that's exactly how it went behind closed doors, but that's how I imagine it went. These openings get people paid, right? That's just the way it works. We saw it with Kurt Cignetti at Indiana, right? He was kind of everybody's first choice for Penn State. Suddenly, he signs a gigantic deal, fully guaranteed. Matt Rule, former Penn State player, kind of in the mix for Penn State. We see him sign an extension. People are going to get paid off this, or they're going to take new jobs. LSU, remember earlier today we talked about Unsportsmanlike, which you can hear every morning here on 99.9 The Fan, did a hot mess ranking of the NFL, and somehow the Panthers are one of the top 5 hot messes in the NFL. It's a conversation for another day. If there were a hot mess ranking of college football, LSU has to be close. They just fired Brian Kelly, and you can't put a microphone in front of enough people to talk about how and who they're going to hire next. The governor is jumping in and making political comments about who they're going to hire and who's not going to hire, and talking bad about the athletic director with, I'll generously say the governor, when speaking about the hiring situation, had a loose understanding of the facts of how things have played out recently.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have them all, not all the ducks in a row. I'm fascinated by who they hire at LSU. And I'm wondering, Dennis, you know what we've talked about this with Washington, meaning the Commanders / the word they were before. We've talked about it with Tepper running the Panthers, where for like free agents, you have to pay a dysfunction tax. Like if there's a free agent and they get a $10 million a year offer from David Tepper or a $10 million offer from the Dan Snyder-led Washington group, if somebody else offered them like 9.5, they might go with the 9.5 because I don't want to play for that guy. You might have to give 12 to get him, right? That's the dysfunction tax. LSU might have to pay a lot of money to get a legit coaching candidate when you're like, we got the governor hiring, we got the board of governors hiring, we got the athletic director hiring, we've got a unbelievably high expectations fan base that will fire you even if you're winning 8, 9, 10, 11 games a year. If you're not winning the right games, LSU is going to be a really interesting big domino to fall in this coaching search. James Franklin, I know some people that cover the Virginia Tech beat. There's a lot of rumors, I wouldn't say anything tangible, about James Franklin getting a massive offer from Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too.
I don't know if it's true or not. It could be posturing from agents and negotiation. Who knows? Here's what I want to know, Dennis.
Okay.
In these situations, often the biggest domino falls first. Either the biggest job hires first or the biggest name candidate chooses where to go first. What's the biggest domino? Especially if, and I'll even add this, if we assume, and it's mean to assume, but I think there's enough smoke. If we assume the Florida Gators job also opens, what's the biggest domino? Is it James Franklin? Is it Brian Kelly? Is it Penn State? Is it LSU? Is it Florida? Like, is it Virginia Tech? Is it whatever? Like, what is the biggest domino that will likely kind of steer how this whole thing goes?
I think Penn State, you could argue, is the biggest job.
Okay.
So to me, in my eyes, that might be the biggest domino, because I think that's when you're really going to start to see the trickle-down effect. Because if someone leaves their current job to go take Penn State, then that gets open, then someone else moves, and then someone gets a contract extension. So I think Penn State, their hire, because I think they might make their hire first.
Who do you think has more options? I guess Penn State definitely has more options because there's more coaches.
Mm-hmm.
But like, who's more desirable? Penn State as a job or James Franklin as a coach?
Penn State as a job.
I think that's probably true, but I think James Franklin is going to be
James Franklin is big. Absolutely.
If he ends up at like Florida, I think there could be something there. He's a good recruiter. And Penn State obviously is Penn State. Practice jerseys and all. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
All right, Dennis, give us the latest on the Panthers practice reports. Who practiced, who didn't, who's yesterday was a rest day, and they're out 2 days in a row. Like, what do we have?
So Bryce Young, full participant in practice once again, which is a big sign coming off that ankle injury that kept him out last week, which, I think he's on track to start this week. I think we can go ahead and feel safe about that unless something crazy happens in the next couple of days. Chandler Zavala, the offensive lineman from NC State, the third-year player who missed the last 4 games. He was on injured reserve. The Panthers opened up his window to return to play. He was a full participant in practice. Would not be shocked to see him suited up this weekend and activated, especially with the injury to Brady Christensen. Also, Andy Dalton, who missed yesterday because of a thumb injury that he suffered in the game against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. He was limited in practice today, but at least he was out there. Damian Lewis, who was a full participant yesterday in practice with an oblique injury, was limited today. Now, granted, yesterday's practice was unpadded. Today's was fully padded practice, so maybe they just kind of held him out a little bit as a precaution. Taylor Moton, the offensive lineman, and Nick Scott, the safety, who didn't practice yesterday, were both limited participants today as well. Moton dealing with a knee, Nick Scott dealing with a groin injury. Cade Mays did not practice, the starting center, and Princely Umamielen, the outside linebacker, did not practice today either. Both those guys, Dave Canales said yesterday, most likely aren't going to be playing. And also another name that popped up that practiced today on a limited basis was Trevin Wallace, the linebacker. He missed yesterday's practice. And Xavier Legette missed practice today. Illness.
Okay.
Sick.
Obviously, illness. Like, I don't want to say
he
illness
practiced
is
yesterday,
better
but,
than, but you'd rather not happen. But I'm not going to be super worried about it.
No, it's
similar to the lesson
got
we
some
learned.
sniffles.
We learned about debating till we were out of breath the defensive pairings for the Canes this offseason. One of the bigger position battles this offseason for the Panthers was center. Cade Mays, Austin Corbett. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Injuries have decided, it's going to alternate. It's going to be a little bit of both, a little bit of him here, a little bit of them there. It's like, why were we, such debate heavy on that? Corbett got the first look, then Cade Mays was playing well. Now he's hurt, and it's just going to, the injury table turns over and over and over again. I respect Andy Dalton for a lot of reasons. He did include today, talking with the media, that he played with essentially a broken thumb in the game, but he made clear to say that was no excuse, which, there's some honor there. I would say as a quarterback, if you have a broken thumb, kind of is an excuse. Might be more of a reason than an excuse. It's hard to play with a broken thumb when you're.
Did he say it was broken? I know he said he injured it.
Let me make sure I had it right.
It was his right throwing thumb. If he broke it, I'm shocked that he was actually practicing then today.
Let me make sure. Joe Person of The Athletic. Andy Dalton said he played last week with a broken thumb, but doesn't want to use it as an excuse. That's a direct tweet read from Joe Person of The Athletic, who covers the team pretty darn well. That's an excuse, or that's a reason, right? Your hands are pretty darn important as a quarterback. So give Andy the credit for playing through it. How about these vets? I know Carson Wentz overplayed it a little bit, with the wincing and everything, but some vets out there playing through some things. Joe Flacco is questionable this week. Went back into the game last week. Some of these quarterbacks, right, they're showing they're hockey tough. I like it as a former quarterback, right? We're not all pretty boys. We're not just all, don't touch, no contact jerseys. No. Out there getting hurt playing through it. Not playing well through it, let's be clear, but playing through it. You want me to come out, you're going to have to take me out. Not walking off here willingly. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go 1!
Let's do that hockey.
Speaking of hockey tough, the Carolina Hurricanes play tonight against the New York Islanders. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. 7 o'clock, I believe, for the pregame show, 7:30 for the puck drop. So eventually we're going to settle into a lot of games being at 7 o'clock. And it seems like we haven't had kind of the traditional start time in a while.
Since game 2.
Eventually it'll happen.
October 11th was the last time they played a normal 7 o'clock Eastern time puck drop.
They go 7:30 tonight, 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Exactly. 3 damn weeks.
And then we go 8 straight 7 p.m. So we'll get there. Just going to have to get through some weird ones first. But talking about hockey tough, there have been a ton of injuries, okay? Like Keandre Miller, Jacob Slavin, obviously. We've talked about him. Shane Gostisbehere came back from one injury, suffered a different injury. Robinson, Carrier, Pyotr Kochetkov still hasn't played in a game yet this year in net. There's been a lot of injuries, some particularly stinging positions, right? One of the weird benefits, and I saw I'll give you the quote from Rod Brindamore in a second. Nystrom, okay? He's a defenseman who, even with contingency plans, probably wasn't expecting to be up in the NHL this soon, right? You're aware of where you are in the pecking order, and you're probably aware, if someone gets hurt, that's going to be Mike Riley's opportunity. If the next guy gets hurt, that's going to be probably Legault. If the next guy gets hurt, you're aware of where you are in the pecking order. He's up there mixing it up. One of the weird benefits of it, right? And we've been looking for silver linings to these injuries all the time. If you come out on the other side, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The young guys get to earn some respect, right? Nystrom took a pretty gnarly gash. Like, he took the puck to the face and just – it's a good one. Like, there's some scars that are going to be on his face for the rest of his life.
Saw him in the locker room post-game. I was like, dude.
Yeah.
And he got stitched up and everything. It was bad.
And then with him out, right, because Gostisbehere had already been out, the Canes are playing with 4 defensemen. And I don't want to say you don't always do everything you can to get back out on the ice, but when you look at your brothers, right, when you look at your teammates out there and they're leaving it all on the ice because you only have 4 defensemen, at times because one of them goes into the box, you have Jankowski, a forward, going, I'll play defenseman. Like, they're doing whatever it takes. I'm sure Nystrom sensed it and was like, no, I'm going back out there. Stitched up, full bubble, right, gets the full helmet, goes out there, keeps playing. And I saw today, I think it was today, Rod Brindamore was asked, like, did he earn some of the older players' respect with what he did? And Brindamore was like, yeah, his coach too. Like,
yeah,
he earned some respect from this guy right here for going back out there dealing with what he was dealing with. And, like, again, this is all, you don't ask for any of this. In a perfect world, none of this happens. But if you're looking for a silver lining, like, Nystrom is now, he's one of the dudes, right? Like, you see somebody do that, you know, all right, you don't have to go to the back of the line in the cafeteria every single time, Rook. Like, you know, you get to sit with us. And that's just a metaphorical way of saying you earned your stripes a little bit there. And it just keeps happening, right? Alexander Nikishin, early on this season, I know we've talked about him for so long, so it feels like he's been around a long time. Played 3 postseason games last year, and that was really it. Early on, in like what would be his 5th NHL start, 6th NHL start, you know, guys are taking hits, and he's the one skating in and being that physical presence and shoving guys around and after the whistle, making sure everybody knows you're not going to mess with my guys. That earns more and more and more respect. Legault, same way when he's been given the opportunity, right? 6'4", 220 pounds. Like, these young guys not only are benefiting from the opportunities, the experience, right? Being out there in certain situations, they're also having the chance to show kind of what they're made of. And that goes a long way in contact sports, right? When you limp off the field in football and then the next drive you're back out there, that means something to the vets. When you take a puck to the face and everybody else is gassing themselves trying to cover for you, and you get back out on the ice and take, I don't even care if it's short shifts, right? I don't care if it's you're out there just trying to get by. You earn some respect in a team sport that matters. And, you know, gosh forbid it happens. You really hope it doesn't. If you have to call those guys up in a more high-profile situation, there's more of like a knowing nod, like, all right, you know, you're with us, let's roll, rather than all right, we got to do everything we can to protect that guy. It's a slightly different feeling. And I think that's, again, I don't want to act like, oh, thank goodness he took the puck to the face.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, good, it was so great that Keandre Miller missed time. I don't want to pretend like any of that's true. But for as bad as it went, you made something good out of it by showing kind of, you know, what you're made out of, and I think that helps. Hockey is one of those sports where you're not going to depend on a guy until you know he's you know, got something to him. And I think Nystrom proved he's got something to him. Because as much as I joke about, like, hey, they're dealing a lot of injuries, I'll go out there and play. I take a puck to the face, my whole face splits open. All right, guys, that was fun. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm going to go back here and ice and elevate. Like, that's all I got going on here.
Elevate my face.
Give me some ibuprofen and put me in a recliner so I don't roll over. That's what I'm looking at. It's those guys are hockey tough. The drive of Tim Donnelly, 99.9. The Canes Islanders tonight. Nystrom, he'll be back in the lineup. You know, stitches and all. I believe paired with Jalen Chatfield in that second pairing. So it'll be a fun one. See what those young guys can prove today. You can prove something to us today. You listening right now, you can prove you know sports. Trivia, jersey numbers. It's time for the numbers game. We need 2 contestants. For the numbers game, the winner will receive Bryan Adams tickets coming to the Lenovo Center on November 5th. So pretty quick here. If you want to play, if you want to win the tickets, you have to call in now. 919-860-5326. That's the number to call to play the numbers game. 919-860-5326. 5326. Could win Bryan Adams tickets. Numbers game next.
The road to college football's national championship runs through 99.9 The Fan. The ACC, the SEC, the biggest matchups will be found here.
KC Concepcion, 25-15 down the right sideline, touchdown. Texas A&M, punt return for touchdown for Concepcion.
College football on The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. During hockey season, I'm bouncing from coast to coast like a puck on ice. But when I'm back in town, I always head to Buffalo Brothers for the best wings on the planet. And check this out. Now they have a new flavor, chili lime. You can't beat the great specials at all 5 Triangle locations, like half-price pizzas, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6. You can dine in or carry out. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have Josh in Benson, and we have Henry in Chapel Hill. They're on the line getting ready to play the numbers game. The prize for today, as I said earlier, is Bryan Adams tickets coming to the Lenovo Center in early November. As always, we'll bring each of our contestants on one at a time. We will ask them the same question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. Josh and Benson, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so today, in the middle of the day, I had to run to my son's school. He did the Halloween parade, and I got to see a whole bunch of Halloween costumes. So the question for today is, what is the best Halloween costume you've ever had? Could be all the way back to kids' time, whatever. What's your favorite Halloween costume you've ever worn on Halloween?
I was Michelangelo Ninja Turtle.
Well, I'm sorry, I couldn't understand that. Say that one more time.
I was a Michelangelo Ninja Turtle.
I like that you still know exactly which one you were. I was Michelangelo. Don't try to pretend I was Donatello. Like Michelangelo. I like it. Michelangelo. Go ahead.
Yeah. He likes the pizza. That's why I remember him.
All right. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Dennis, any follow-ups?
Yes, sir.
That brings us to Henry in Chapel Hill. Henry, are you there?
Yep.
All right. Same question to you. Of all time, what is your favorite Halloween costume that you've ever worn?
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow. You know nothing. All right. Two very different ones here for you, Dennis. You have Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you have Jon Snow from Game of Thrones.
Jon Snow's unique. I don't think I've ever seen a Jon Snow costume. That's actually pretty. That's a good one.
I imagine there's a fur coat involved.
Yeah, a lot of brooding going on if you're Jon Snow. But my favorite costume I've ever worn in my lifetime is a Michelangelo Ninja Turtles costume. Yes, absolutely. My favorite Ninja Turtle of all time. And I'm a massive Ninja Turtles fan, so I got to go Josh on this one.
Not only Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but specifically Michelangelo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was Raphael not the one that everybody wanted to be growing up?
No.
Oh.
Michelangelo is the one.
Okay, maybe I'm remembering wrong. Either way, that means Josh and Benson gets to go first. Henry and Chapel Hill, don't worry, you'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a second. Josh, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, sir.
All right, the categories are NFL players with late October birthdays, NFL players that were at one point or another teammates of Ryan Fitzpatrick, NBA players that were all Europeans, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
The first one.
All right, NFL late October birthdays. By the way, I said they were all Europeans. They're still European. That's not like something you age out of. So just European NBA players was that category. All right, so you chose NFL players late October birthdays. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Jalen Coker, Carolina Panthers.
12.
Incorrect. DJ Wanham, Carolina Panthers.
Pass.
Ike Ekwonu, Carolina Panthers.
84.
Incorrect. Jalen Coker, Carolina Panthers.
24.
Incorrect. DJ Wanham, Carolina Panthers.
87.
Incorrect. Ike Ekwonu, Carolina Panthers.
12.
Incorrect. By the way, I did not know. Don't be apologizing. I didn't know they were all Carolina Panthers when I read the category. And there's there's a note from the person that makes our list that says this was not planned. There's just so many Panthers. So apparently a ton of Panthers are just born in late October.
Yeah.
For those of you playing at home, Jalen Coker, 18 is what we were looking for. DJ Wanham, 98 is what we were looking for. And Ike Ekwonu, 79 for the left tackle. You didn't get any right, but because you were chosen with the Halloween costume question, you still have a chance. A tie goes to whoever goes first. So stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up.
All right.
That means Henry and Chapel Hill, you have your shot. Are you ready to pick a category?
Yeah. European NBA players.
Are you okay? Do you want to hear the other categories? I can read them to you one more time if you want.
Sure.
Okay, they are NFL players that were Ryan Fitzpatrick's teammates at one point or another, NBA, the European one, all Europeans, which you just discussed, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
Yeah, NBA.
All right, these are all European players. I'll give you the team and the name. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You need at least one for the win. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. OG Anunoby, New York Knicks.
Pass.
Dirk Nowitzki, Dallas Mavericks.
44.
Incorrect. Jonas Valanciunas, Denver Nuggets.
15.
Incorrect. OG Anunoby, New York Knicks.
14.
Incorrect. Dirk Nowitzki, Dallas Mavericks.
91.
Incorrect. Jonas Valanciunas, Denver Nuggets.
14.
Incorrect. OG Anunoby, New York Knicks.
11.
Incorrect. Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh.
You had to mix your two Dirk Nowitzki guesses. You guessed 44 and 91. We needed 41 for Dirk. OG Anunoby, 8. Jonas Valanciunas, 17 is what we were looking for. Unfortunately, that means you lose on the tiebreaker, but hopefully you had some fun.
All right. Thank you.
And I didn't do this intentionally, but you know nothing, Jon Snow. And we have a winner because they have the same favorite Halloween costume as Dennis Cox. Josh and Benson, you are the winner. Congratulations. Brian Adams tickets are coming your way.
All right. Appreciate it.
There you go. Stay on the line. Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize. Not the best numbers game we've ever been a part of.
Nope.
And you know what? If I were a superstitious person, yesterday we had a 4-3 game, but it was very well played. Both contestants were using their pass well. We were moving quick, good guesses, and we celebrated too openly. We talked about how good it was and how well played, and even if you do everything right, sometimes you just need the cards to fall your way. You just need to get a category that kind of fits with your particular trivia set. And then we run into today and we go over. There's not always an answer, guys. There's not always nothing we could have done there. But at least we got to talk about Halloween costumes.
Chance there with Mike. You missed a chance there with Michelangelo. Hey, Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds on the clock.
I
did okay. You know what?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It wasn't my center. It wasn't center cut for me growing up. I was aware of it. More Power Rangers guy.
I also love Power Rangers too. God, everyone knows Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds. And wise men say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Any others? You want to keep going? I'm enjoying.
We don't have much time left in the show, Tim. I could go all night.
On. Do you know what actually has been rattling around in my brain? Every once in a while, this happens where we're having a conversation, and usually it's sports related. Where we reference like the 2003. Sacramento Kings or something, and then I just can't think of the shooting guard. And even though we've moved on and we're talking about the Panthers or the Hurricanes or whatever, in the back of my brain I'm still going, who is that? He's an assistant coach, and it's Doug Christie, and it just comes to me like 35 minutes later. But the entire time, the back of my brain, every commercial break, it's rattling around, and I'm trying not to cheat and do the Google thing. Right now, that's happening with the names of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Right, Dennis is over there giving quotes. I'm reading numbers game things, and all I have is Donatello and Michelangelo and Raphael, and I can't hit the fourth. And I'm going to wait for Dennis to get off air, and off the phone with our winner, and I'm going to ask him because it's like a song lyric that you can't finish, right? Where you just keep saying the beginning of the chorus over and over and over again, and your brain won't let you forget until you finish it. Right now, I am dealing with that. I have 3 of the 4, and that's all I've got. So, I'm sure some of you are tweeting it at me right now. That's not going to help. That's kind of cheating, but I appreciate it. It is definitely just ruining my thought process right now. So what we'll do is we'll encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. A bunch of content there. You can live stream this, waving to everybody out there that may be paying attention in YouTube world. And also that's where we do live events like our Numbers Game Live and a few others. So if you want to be a part of those events, subscribe to 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. We'll take a quick break here. When we come back, Dave Doeren said some things that Dave Doeren, head coach NC State football, said some things that raised some eyebrows on his radio show this week. We have some of that audio and more reaction to that audio coming up next right here on The Drive. Don't go anywhere.
Move your sports day forward.
Sports and politics colliding again. Louisiana's governor wants in on the next LSU football coach hire. Imagine if North Carolina's governors, senators, or representatives wanted in on the next basketball coach hire here. Well, you have to play by the same rules then. No tax cuts year 1, you're out of there. No impeachment, you're just gone.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. I got to tell you about my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been following the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center for 3 months now, and I've lost 40 pounds. That's right, I'll say it again. I've lost 40 pounds. You probably heard me say it before, but if you haven't, I'll say it one more time. I've lost 40 pounds in 3 months thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And one of the things that I love about the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center is the fact that they actually give you a tangible plan to follow. I know so many people, including myself in the weight loss journey, have gotten super frustrated with trying to figure out the best thing that works for them. And the thing about Raleigh Weight Loss Center is that they actually give you something to follow, something tangible and concrete. Follow this plan, and you can lose weight. Simple as that, folks. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, and set up a free 15-minute phone call. If you have questions about the program, if you have any health concerns, have those questions answered. 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $750 million now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $750 million. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 291 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools
tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Thank you to everybody that reached out. Leonardo. Dennis, you were on the phone. You didn't hear the whole conversation.
Oh.
I had rattling around in the back of my brain. I had Donatello, I had Michelangelo, I had Raphael, and I could not come up with the fourth.
You couldn't know Leonardo?
It's like a the way I described it was if I made a reference to like the 2003 Sacramento Kings, and then for the next half hour while we're talking about other stuff, the rest of my brain is just trying to think of who Doug Christie is because I couldn't think of his name. That was going on. I'm like, I know it, but I can't come up with it. It was Leonardo. That's what it was.
Bruh.
Hey, I'm honest. You've never had like something that that was escaping you?
Not Ninja Turtles.
You don't think at any point in your life, in history, anybody could have said, quick, name all 4 Ninja Turtles, and you would have been
Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello.
Well, obviously right now we've been talking about it, but you don't think at any point in your life you would have had that brain freeze of like, oh, who's the third?
No.
Wow. Better than me when it comes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Anyway, The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm being told that we have something to give away.
We do.
NCFC. They just secured home field advantage for the playoffs, and we have a family 4-pack of tickets to give away for you to watch NCFC take on Loudoun United this Saturday, November 1st at First Horizon Stadium. If you want a awesome family-friendly family 4-pack of entertainment, call in now, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. 26. Call in now. What caller number is the winner?
Number 9.
Caller number 9 on 99.9 The Fan. Caller number 9 wins a family 4-pack to watch NCFC take on Loudoun United. Phone lines are open now. Call in 919-860-5326. That's a nice little surprise. Hey, we got something to give away. Here's another surprise. Dave Doeren spoke to the media, obviously, during his radio show, right? Spoke to his radio show this week. Dave Doeren, head coach, NC State. Now, I'm not going to act like it's like a woe is me or a pity party should be thrown, but it's probably not fun to be a head coach when your team is losing, right? It's probably not like, oh, yes, I get to go to my radio show and answer questions about that 53-34 loss on the road at Pittsburgh, following up a 36-7 loss on the road at Notre Dame. I get it. And I'm sure, I mean, as somebody that speaks into a microphone every single day, there's times where you say some things like, man, wish I wouldn't have put it that way, right? Wish I would have worded it a little differently. Dave Doeren said some things that I think either he would want back or I just, quite frankly, don't really like what he said. Let's start with this, Dennis. Dennis on the phone, but I hope he can hit play on this take or this clip. Dave Doeren was asked why he loves coaching this year's team, right? Why he loves coaching this year's version of the NC State Wolfpack, and there was a healthy dose of shade for last year's team.
Last year we were winning some games, and kids on our team were pouting and complaining because they weren't getting the ball. And I hated coaching that team last year. There was so much selfish stuff on that sideline. We don't have that on this team. We got a bunch of guys that actually really care about each other. They practice hard. They're coachable. They want to win. But for whatever reason, there's penalties or there's a guy making a mistake at the wrong time on a key moment. that's helping the other team. And we've just been really good at beating ourselves this year, you know. In the first 4 games that we won, we found ways to win and overcome mistakes. And we haven't done that in these last 4 losses. So a lot to take away. It's still 4 games with the same guys in the locker room. And I'm going to enjoy every minute with them, man. Like, every day I get to see Isaiah Shirley and Caden Fordham and Hollywood Smothers and all these guys, man. CJ, it's a fun group to coach. And we want to help them win. We want to help them get better.
There's a lot there that's good. And for the most part, I have respected and appreciate the way Dave Doeren has handled his comments about his team over the years. The quote right there in the middle, last year, and this is directly from what you just heard, last year we were winning some games and kids on our team were pouting and complaining because they weren't getting the ball. I hated coaching that team last year. There was so much selfish stuff on that sideline. Why say that? Why say that? You can praise this year's team without trashing last year's team. You can talk about the reason you love coaching Caden Fordham this year, even though Caden Fordham was on the team last year. You can talk about Isaiah Shirley and without throwing guys under the bus. I think about it like this. Talking about last year's team in any kind of negative light. If you want to praise guys from last year, you want to talk about how awesome, I don't know, Peyton Wilson was or whatever, go crazy, right? Compliments, there's no limit. But if you're going to start talking down about people, I think about it this way. You ever taken maybe you left a job, right? Like, hey, I got a different job and I'm leaving, and they give you that exit survey. I never really, you want me to trash somebody? No, I'm going to say nice things. Why? Because it doesn't impact, my future. And why would I burn bridges? Right? Why would I insult someone on the way out? We don't even interact anymore. The players that were on Dave Doeren's team last year that he is talking about, they're on to something else. And if they're still on his team, then that's even a weirder thing to go through because you kept them around after saying that they were selfish and complaining and pouting. I don't think that's a leadership thing to do. And I'll even take it one step further and say this. In college sports, in team sports, in professional sports, the coach is responsible for everything that happens in their program, right? Even if it's you've delegated, right? You're responsible for your offense, whether you're calling the plays or not, because you hired the guy that's calling the offense, right? You're responsible for the culture and temperature in that locker room because you assembled everybody that's in that locker room. To sit back and act like, they were pouting, they were selfish. You put together that whole thing. And you may think it's not your fault. You may think, they duped me or whatever. I didn't think they were that kind of person when I brought them into my locker room. That still falls on you. And you can say what you wanted to say about this year's team without knocking last year's team. Which, by the way, last year's team, it's in the past. It's not changing. It's not like, oh, look at that. Let's go back and add a win to his record last year because he had some selfish people that he was dealing with. We're not it's complaining to the ref, right? I've never seen a ref go, you know what? Because you yelled at me and put your finger in my face, you're right, I'll pick up the flag. It's what's done is done. Control what you can control. More audio here from Dave Doeren on his Wolfpack Weekly show. This is on the defensive execution and practice this is about this year's team not translating to the game field.
But they have to play assignment sound football, man, and they got to play to the best of their ability to give us a chance to win. And I didn't think we did that. I thought there was a lot of plays that we gave Pitt. Pitt did a great job, and they definitely beat us. But we also made it easy at times with things that we did well in practice. And I think that's the thing, I've told the players, it's one thing when you line up right, your eyes are in the right place, you play with good technique, and you play hard, and that guy makes a play. He's on scholarship too. It's another thing when you don't line up right or you do line up right and your eyes are in the wrong place, and we ran that play 8 times in practice, and you defended it properly, and then in the game you just don't. That's really hard as a coach because, what you show us during the week is kind of a forecast of what we'll see on Saturday.
This one I'm more split on. Talking bad about kids on last year or players on last year's team, that one I'm pretty firm that, like, I hope that just came out. You were trying to say something else and it came out wrong. This one I'm more split on because I've never been a coach of any serious level, but I imagine it's wildly frustrating to see something done right on the practice field over and over again, then make it out to the game field and it's not executed the same way. I imagine that is like a top, I want to throw my headset moment. And I understand why that would be super frustrating. But also I do think it's kind of a coach's job to get players to translate what they do on the practice field to the game field. Like that's part of coaching, right? Is making sure that under high pressure, given different looks against a different team on the game field, the things you do in practice are ingrained enough in your system to make it work. So I'm split on that one. Right, I know some people are upset about it, right? He used they a couple times, like they need to do this, and he's talking about his own players. He mixed in we's and us's as well. I don't think that's as huge a deal as some are making it out to be. But I like I said, I see both sides of that one, right? Where it's like, goodness gracious, they know what to do and they're not doing it. Is a realistic thought to have as a coach in that situation. And then also, you know, if somebody else from the outside wanted to say, you're responsible for getting them to do the things that they know to do, is also kind of a valid retort. So I'm split on that one. I don't think that one's as you know, black and white, inbounds, out of bounds, good. Like that one's shades of gray if you're looking for something a little bit more complicated. For the most part, this is where I fall on, I mean, everything that he said. Winning solves everything. Winning, if they were, you know, what's their record now? If they were 7-1, and you say things like, you know, last year there was a little bit more selfishness, I don't think anyone has a problem with it because it's like, no, this year we're not selfish and we're 7-1. But saying negative things about someone else or saying this isn't happening when you've lost 4 of your last 5, including your last 2 in kind of, you know, blowout fashion, it does feel like passing the buck a little bit. It does feel like, oh, it's not me. Last year we were selfish. This year they're not doing what we tell them to do. Right? It's a bit of deflecting blame, which is weird because I like Dave Doeren he's been a coach speak guy, and I think he's for the most part said the right thing. And you might say like, well, he said that thing about Carolina. I think all that was intentional, right? Salty Dave is a thing, right? He knows how to land some jabs in a rivalry. But talking about his team, he's often been saying the right thing. So I wonder if he's coaching through the media here or trying to shake things up because, like, I read that quote first, by the way. I wasn't listening live to the show. Read the quote, and I was like, whoa, did he really say that? Then hearing him say, I go, yep, I absolutely did. I'd be a little frustrated if I was on last year's team and not on this year's team. Like, oh, we were selfish, huh? You non-selfish guys are 4-4, so lost 4 of your last 5, coach. That's, you know, looking at it from a player's standpoint. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. By the way, I'll be recording a new edition of Pack Therapy with Mike Glennon tomorrow, and I assume those quotes will be mixed in there. So get ready for that one. See what Mike has to say about it. In the meantime, we have Overdrive coming up next, and we're going to start it off by talking Canes or airing our conversation from earlier about the Carolina Hurricanes hosting the New York Islanders tonight, which you can hear right here on 99.9 The Fan. 7:30 puck drop, 7 o'clock Storm Watch with Adam Gold to get you ready before he passes things off to Mike Maniscalco and Trip Tracy for the broadcast. You can also listen to that on our 99.9 The Fan app. We'll be back tomorrow to round out the week properly on a Friday, so hopefully you'll be there to hang out with us. Thank you to Gino Torretta for joining the show. You'll hear him on Overdrive as well. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
Move your sports day forward.
Sports and politics colliding again. Louisiana's governor wants in on the next LSU football coach hire. Imagine if North Carolina's governors, senators, or representatives wanted in on the next basketball coach hire here. Well, you have to play by the same rules then. No tax cuts year 1, you're out of there. No impeachment, you're just gone.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 On 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time.